Hello, everybody. We are here. Sorry for the slight delay. We had a couple members stuck in traffic and such, but we are live now, just a few minutes late, which is par for the course for us. Lindsay is here. She's dealing with an issue, so never mind the fact that she is a boat right now. Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of Those Natural Ones. A couple quick announcements. Friday. Emery, tell us about Friday.
Are you ready, crew?
This isn't SpongeBob.
I can't hear you.
Aye, Captain!
I hate it so much.
Yes, on
Especially
this Friday.
After the meme I just saw online.
Oh, yep.
There is no escape.
Yeah, this Friday, tune in for a special 2 or maybe 3-parter, depending on what you do. Pirating in the Sky. Tune in to find out what happened more than a century ago when sky pirating was common. Why isn't it now? Tune in. Again, tune in. Like and subscribe.
Because your mom.
Because your mom.
Your mom's a
Got
sky
him.
pirate.
Wait a minute.
That was me testing my mic.
No, it sounds much better. You sound great.
Because your mom. So you're not getting feedback from my laptop speakers, are you?
No,
because
not
that's
at
what
all.
I have to use for the stream being.
No.
Super duper.
I told you, that's why I couldn't handle the SpongeBob reference tonight, because I literally just saw that on the internet.
Well, gee, why didn't you put that in the fan Discord?
Please, no.
No.
Please.
No. So, thank you for that. Everybody
Hey,
tune in.
let's pitch the fan Discord.
Yes. Fan Discord for
Great segue.
Patreon members. So,
Yeah.
Scott, tell us about the Patreon.
Our Patreon is live for a week now. Patreon.com/those natural ones. We have many levels with many benefits. And one of those benefits is a weekly shout out at certain levels. We have 2 patrons at that level, Lester Marlat and Flora Marlat. So yay to our patrons. Thank you for supporting the show. We're going to be using those funds to get better, and we really appreciate it. There's also going to be a ticker at certain parts of the show. That is part of the base level, adding to the ticker.
Which the ticker is up and running now, by the way.
We do have that set up now. We couldn't get it up last week. Phrasing.
Oh my
Your
god.
mom,
phrasing.
that's what she said, all kinds of stuff.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Check out the Patreon. It's patreon.com/those natural ones. Support the stream. Many levels to do so at, and all with the really good rewards.
Absolutely. So,
Including being able to advertise with us.
absolutely. So,
Hey, one more thing.
yes.
Tomorrow is Elric's birthday.
Happy
So
early
we should
birthday, Emery.
Shout him out. Give him some love in the chat. Maybe subscribe to Patreon and show him some support for his
That's
birthday.
right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be the greatest gift?
The greatest gift is your money.
The greatest thing you'll ever
By the way, because you were saying this during the Patreon thing, the face I was making was a meme that we shared in our internal chat. So I was not making a smell bad face to our Patreons. Very much appreciate you.
Yes.
You're wonderful. The smell bad face was for our terrible inside humor
which we
on our
will
stream.
no longer talk about that.
Yeah,
Somebody type some stuff so that scrolls up on my fucking screen.
I got
Oh
you,
my
fam.
God.
I got you.
Just repost it.
It's just going to be a lot of like just happy. I'm just going to spell it happy birthday, Emery, like just over and over again to make it the worst.
Puppies.
Oh, puppies. That's better. Okay.
Unless
so,
it's the Jerry Lawler puppies.
I mean, that's even better. Now,
No, I got your back.
hey, well, anyway, so other than that, make sure to like and subscribe on all of our social media platforms. I think that's about enough talking. Sam, tell us what happened last week.
Oh boy,
It's enough
would
talking.
I.
Stream over.
That's enough talking. Goodbye, guys. So last session, we investigated the beholder's lair and harvested some of its teeth and a few eye stalks that hadn't been completely crushed by the weekly elephant. We found a tapestry depicting witches around a cauldron, and Arnon found a book giving us a lot more detail about the Twilight Coven. We also found a rich mahogany tuning fork, which we discovered leads to the Feywilds, and our suspicions were confirmed by Bo, Gwen's familiar. We rested after some intense existential discussion with the weekly elephant, several food debacles, a light skull cleaning discussion, and a well-stocked bar. From there, we made our way back to Torchiv, arriving to the city under the cover of a rainy night.
Absolutely. And that is where we will pick up. So, as you make your way through the walls of the city, drenched to the bone, it is late, it is night. You're probably, at this point, with the delay due to the rain, you're probably cresting close to midnight. What would you all like to do? The city is yours.
What are our options?
Well, different things you could do. You could continue investigating the stuff that you found. You could go find rest for the evening. You could get drunk. That's always an option for you. You're
I
muted.
vote find a place to get dry, then get drunk.
Who all needs healing?
Lindsay, if you said something, you're muted.
Damn it, technology.
There you are.
Technology.
Yeah. I think we had a long rest, so I don't think anyone needs healing.
Oh,
Right.
well then-
You took a
Or-
long rest before you traveled, and the only thing you ran into was a rainstorm, so.
Much like Columbus's weather, right now.
Exactly.
Well, we should
So-
probably report to the general at some point our findings.
We should do that first if we're going to go drinking. What time of day or night is it? It's like
it's late. It's
1 in the
probably
morning?
around 11 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably get lodging for the night and then report to the general in the morning.
Yeah, let's report to them in the morning.
All right. So, if there's nothing else, you make your way to your lodging. Same lodging that you've had previous nights in this town. Pretty uneventful evening. Quiet on the streets. A few people wandering around. Easy enough to stable your horses, make your way to lodging, and rest for the evening.
Guys, I prepared my divination spells regarding future events. So if you have questions regarding which paths we should take, write them down so I can ask those for you if you like at some point tonight, maybe after a couple pints.
Tonight. Whoa.
I very carefully put the bag of beans in a very safe place.
Oh yeah, that's
Are you
that's the one
hiding
that
the
we're going
bag
to
of
catapult, right?
beans?
You put it right next to your spell book, precariously perched on the side of your nightstand.
Oh no!
Perfect.
The fact
And
that you didn't
that's when his
continue the
librarian
operation
friend
is
comes to
very
visit.
Safe as churches.
And the whole thing empties, doing like 90 something fire damage.
All right, we've got. Do we have names for the generals? I can't remember.
You have not you have not found any names yet. No, just
Ooh.
Well, we
What?
know that.
What?
I think he said boo, and then I was gonna say I think we don't know. We know the Twilight Coven is the name of a potential one. So maybe it's, you know, how many witches did we see around the cauldron? 3?
4.
2? Got it. Okay, 4. So maybe that's maybe by their powers combined, they're one general.
But how do we know that they are witch?
You also, Arnon did notice that one of the symbols that disintegrated was the broken hand. So that alone, and that the hand of Tiamat was 5 members. So
that is a fair point.
Seems like they're cheating, if I'm being honest. 5 shouldn't count for 1.
Being a general is a very big job.
I mean, I can make 4 more if that's what you want.
Or don't.
Man,
That's also fine. That you didn't do that
We're all out of pachydermis.
for 1 week.
You're a week shy of pachydermis. Technically 6 days now. So
Oh, well, thank God.
that's that extra day, man.
So
You guys, we're golden. We're cool. Let's just sleep it off.
it would have been from the day of summoning, which was the
Yesterday.
14th. Because we rested that night of having existential crises and eating. The elephant was summoned that prior day. We rested that night, right?
No, it was the same day. You summoned the elephant during the beholder fight.
Uh-huh.
And then that whole existential crisis and everything was on the same day. And then you rested that evening and then took off to go back to Torchev the next morning.
We're on the same page. We just said it differently. That's good. Okay.
Yeah. So 6 days left.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Until we sleep right now.
Until you sleep right now. So, is there anything else you want to accomplish this evening?
I mean, I'm going to spend time reading the books that I found.
Okay.
So,
Any specific book that you're reading?
specifically the one about the planes, for sure. What was that called?
I have it written down.
The Planar Codex.
Okay.
I'm probably going to be interested in the Divine Pantheon too. So those are the 2 that I focus on first.
Okay. So,
Apart from, you know, the smut that I found in the Beholder's Lair.
I suppose if we're not drinking, I can go ahead and read my bestiary a bit in Infernal and see if I discover anything interesting.
We'll read the herbalism.
Can I have him like read it to me like I'm a child?
yeah, absolutely.
Can you tell me bedtime stories in Infernal?
Yes. Is there any other books that any of you are reading this evening?
The herbalism
I
book.
can't currently find my notes right now. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Can we get a recounting of the books that we recovered?
So
Yeah, that
the
sucks
books,
because I really do have a full list of them.
the books you recovered were Through the Central Eye, Beholder Philosophies and Ideologies, The Draconomicon, A Comprehensive Guide to Dragons, The Art of Swordplay, A Compendium of Magical Creatures from Dragons to Pixies, The Herbalist's Handbook, Plants, Potions, and Remedies, The Book of Prophecies, Visions and Portents of the Future, Beast of the Wild, A Guide to Fantastic Fauna, Arcane Chronicles, A History of Mystic Arts, Chronicles of the Eternal Kingdom, A Saga of Kings and Queens, Elven Songs and Poetry, Echoes of the Forest Realm, Bestiary of the Abyss, Horrors from the Depths, The Divine Pantheon, Deities and Their Worshippers, The Planar Codex, Portals and Travel Between Realms, Artifacts of Power, Relics of Forgotten Realms, and finally, One Eye to Rule Them All, Beholder, Overlords, and Tyrants.
Would I know, as a druid that can wild shape, whether or not reading a detailed description in a bestiary would give me any ability to wild shape?
Typically, you have to actually have seen the animal. come in contact with you?
A fan just sent me Forbidden Hooves, an erotic centaur's memoir.
Yes.
Oh no!
Nice.
There's that smut you were looking for.
Yeah, that's Arnon's smut.
I think Butch would like to read one of the books about monsters. Wasn't there one about some of the monsters from the depths or something?
That's the one that's in Infernal that Orpheus was reading.
Oh, well then, the other one about monsters.
And I think that and maybe that'll be one that we can do study group together. Butch.
Study group!
Study group! When I'm not drinking with Orpheus, it's study group with Butch.
Drinking study group with Butch.
Draking. We can just call it draking.
Draking!
Draking games.
Draking games. Oh my gosh.
We're studying the depths of our liver. All
I feel
anatomy.
this book deserves a nice, rich, dark beer.
I definitely want the herbalism book.
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually did find my list now, so if anybody needs it, you can now reference it to me.
So, okay. So, Orpheus, you are looking through the abyssal thing. Abyssal chicken. No.
Deep into the abyssal chicken.
Yeah, into the abyssal chicken. No.
Abyssal
Bestiary
or
of
something
the
like that.
abyss. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check real quick.
Okay. $13.
Okay. So, looking through... Whoa, what's that?
Say hi.
50. All right. So, looking through this book, it goes about talking about different beasts and fiends and demons, focusing mostly on the plane of the abyss, clearly, which you weren't too familiar with, considering the abyss and the hells that you were trapped in, two completely different areas. But you do know about the ongoing war between the hells and the abyss, and it talks about that a little bit in the book. With the 13, it takes you about an hour or two of scrolling through this book before you notice a familiar symbol in the book. A symbol that... Were you there for the conversation that Arnon had about his dream?
I think, was that at the breakfast table?
Yes. No, you were
I was drunk.
hungover. So never mind.
Unfortunate.
Okay, so scratch that.
Did he fill us all in though? Like when they came and woke us up?
Did
They
you,
We're on
kicked
our
us away
Days
and
travel
told us what was
back to
going on.
Georgia.
Arnon, would you have gone over all those symbols with everybody?
I'm sorry, what?
I hate you so much. Would you have gone over in detail all of the symbols?
Yeah, now that I think that I can trust her.
Okay. So, with a 13, you recognize something that you're not entirely sure if it's the symbol he was talking about, but there is a symbol in there that sounds somewhat familiar. It looks similar to... Maybe it's what he was talking about? You're not sure.
Is there anything addressing what that symbol is correlated to?
Yes. So, when you read the chapter, it talks about a demon prince, a creature when you're first reading it, it sounds almost like they're describing a pit fiend, but not quite. And knowing that this is a demon and not a devil, you get the distinct impression that this is not a pit fiend, but a demon prince by the name of Soulwrath, who came to power during the war against the Hells and showed prominence and battlefield wisdom and strategic thinking, and was a decent tactician among the armies of the Abyss. An image, crudely drawn image, is sketched in one of the pages, and you see this large, imposing, muscular figure with two large leathery wings.
Hot.
And a face that almost looks like a minotaur. Very bullish.
These are the hooves.
Oh no.
In one hand, this figure is holding a long sword that seems to bristle with electrical energy. And in the other hand...
Oh, I feel it, baby. I feel that electricity.
The other
Your
hand,
long, shiny blade.
a flaming whip curls out around his feet.
Oh. Oh, daddy.
God damn it.
Sorry.
You fell for this man's trap card.
It's Solrath, so yes, you were correct.
By the way, this is especially funny for me because the binder that I'm using is the career services guide from my law school.
I was really hoping that it was going to be some creepy binder that you had about an ex-girlfriend. So it's actually like a lot better than what I was assuming.
Well, you took that
That is
to
a
a
lot
different
better.
place.
Oh my god.
I was gonna fall somewhere in the middle with Burn Book for everybody, but that's not. That's fine too.
Hey,
So-
middle's better than completely opposing sex.
So,
I'm going to go ahead and bookmark that section so I can show the others in the morning and commit it to memory.
There's no D&D streaming page in the career services guide.
Yeah.
Except you don't have to share it with me, I guess, because you're reading it to me.
yeah. Yeah, you are reading to Rhett like a child.
She fell asleep during that part.
Explain it like I'm 5.
Arnon.
So
Oh. Yes,
I was going to ask, what does infernal sound like? It's like reading this to you like you're 5. Is he just going?
Did you just say Oshkosh Bagosh?
I did say Oshkosh Bagosh. That is the devil's speech. You cannot convince me otherwise.
I love it. More or less, that's what you're hearing. So, Arnon, what were you reading?
Yes. The Plains book
Okay.
and the Celestial book
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
and Beholder Smut.
Beholder Smut. Go ahead and roll me.
Divine Pantheon and Planar Codex.
All right. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check, please.
That book on the plains, that's the one that teaches you
22.
how to fold paper, right? Hamburger or hot dog. For throwing in the air.
I don't know if with the 22, that's what it teaches me.
So
Probably not.
I mean, it doesn't not teach you that.
a lot of what you see in these books is very similar to what you already knew. There's not a lot of new information. However, the Planar Codex specifically, you see the kind of like divine wheel or the planar wheel drawn out, and you see the difference between the upper planes, the lower planes, the mid planes, the material plane with the Shadowfell and the Feywild touching, then the innermost planes past that of the elemental planes, and then moving outward from there, the outer planes with the nine hells, the heaven and hell, the style planes, the what's the word I'm looking for, like the divine planes versus the chaotic and evil style planes past that. You kind of see a lot of the intermingling between the elemental planes that you didn't notice before. You see basically where the plane of water meets the plane of earth and creates a swampland, and followed by some muddy hills. You see this ash area, this between the plane of earth and the plane of fire, that creates what's known as the fountains of creation, which is a large magma field. You see this I fucking hate
liquid
this word.
hot magma.
Liquid hot magma. You see
I
between
would like to see sharks with freaking lasers on their freaking heads. That's really what I'd
between
like to see.
the plane of fire and the plane of air, you see right past the sea of fire, you see the actual plane of ash known as the Great Conflagration. I'm sure I said that wrong.
Conflagration.
Yeah, thank you. That word. You even said it and I still can't fucking say it. So my mouth doesn't make those sounds.
Yet.
Then past between the plane of air and the plane of water, you see the Frostfell plane of ice. You see depictions of islands inside the plane of water. You see a large city of brass in the plane of fire. Floating islands depicted in the plane of air. It talks more about transporting between planes. It talks about natural portals, which you've experienced firsthand in the storms. It talks about people falling into open graves and disappearing into the Shadowfell. It talks about mushroom circles in the forest that people step into and disappear into the Feywild. It seems like these natural portals have been opening up more frequently recently. This book was written about 20 years ago or so. And it talks about how within the last 100 or so years, these portals have become more and more frequent.
And the war started about 150, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
as for the Pantheon book, it is literally just talks about the gods. Talks about the worship practices between the different deities and stuff like that. Very, very textbook, to the point, facts only. Very dry reading.
Does it talk about the like other beings besides gods that live in the upper planes?
It does a little bit. It talks about the Celestials, just in more of like a footnote fashion of these, you know, the planar and such that serve the deities.
Would there be anything that maybe he recognizes from his dreaming? And the person telling him this information?
Go ahead and make me another investigation check.
Sure. $19.
So, we'll come back to that.
Buttons.
We'll come back to that in a little bit. Elric, you were reading the Arcane Chronicles, I believe.
What?
That's correct.
Chronicle what?
Arcane Chronicles.
What? Motherfucking cupcakes. This book is a detailed retelling of, you know, the basics of magic, the different schools of magic, and how they were first founded, and very, very textbook rudimentary. You've read most of this stuff in your studies before. It goes through, there's a very quick touch on spell sculpting and creating spells. But most of this is stuff that you already knew. This is more of a recount of the histories behind the arcane.
So, in reading this, I'm basically reading information that I'm already well aware of.
Yes, mostly. You haven't come across anything yet that you feel is really of much import.
Well,
You picked the wrong book.
I'm gonna be thorough just in case.
Fantastic.
I mean, your girlfriend appreciates it.
So.
Arrow with that ass.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Her ass is lightning.
God damn it.
Covers all the bases.
Watch out, you gonna get struck.
He sits around the house.
Oh my god.
So
So yeah, continuing to be thorough with the book, is there anything that I pick up that I might have missed?
go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Investigation.
Please let him find new ways to use his fireball spell. Cooking with lightning.
That is a 22.
So there is a passage buried in the back of this book that talks about how you can take specific magically imbued items, combine them with other items to make them work a little bit better. And specifically, there is talk about shoot, my brain, I apologize, everyone. My brain is not coming up with these words.
No worries. No worries.
The School of Magic that deals with transportation. Which school is that again?
Let me take a look. Let's see.
Abjuration? I don't remember. No, that's
Conjuration?
Conjuration. Yes, Conjuration. So
Yes.
talks about conjuration magic being enhanced by specific items that are attuned to where you're trying to travel to, which is something you've seen firsthand with the tuning forks. But this talks about how potentially if you had a magic item that was used for transport, if you use that in conjunction with one of those attuned items, it would give you a much higher chance of success when it comes to that magic item succeeding.
So kind of like combining gadgets on Odd Squad.
Yeah, exactly. And I get that reference.
Very cool.
Because I have small children too.
Yep.
Me and Emery, solidarity. The No Kid Club. That's our separate server. Is the No Kids Club.
I mean, he technically has a kid.
Technically, I do have one.
Damn it! It's just me,
Yep.
everybody.
Wah,
JK.
wah, 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 wah.
Wah, wah. Club of one.
So, was anyone else reading any books besides? Oh, your herbalism book. And Perry or
Yes.
Butch, what were you reading?
A book about monsters, because learning about monsters is cool.
I just picture Butch reading a dinosaur book.
With pop-up dinosaurs.
Damn it, Scott.
Oh no!
He's like, Arnon, check out this velociraptor.
So cool.
Gwen, with your herbalism book. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Does it have to be that? Can't
Yes,
it be
it
wisdom?
does.
Something wisdom related?
No.
And it doesn't matter that I have an herbalism kit that I'm proficient with? No?
No, because that's
Does
not
an
going to help you
herbalism
read a
kit
book.
Help you read?
No, it'll help me understand the concepts within the book when I get a fucking 12.
So it was more about how long it's going to take you than
Oh, okay.
what you find out. So
I accept that.
Did Nick's
there
audio
soul
get all
rhubarb?
screwed up for anybody
Yeah,
besides
it did.
what happened?
what you said got garbled?
That last thing?
Yeah.
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 So
And I asked you
It affects how long it takes you to get there.
yeah. And it takes you a couple hours to read through this book. You're still feeling a little woozy and hard to focus from your resurrection sickness, but you make it through the book, and this does give you a lot of information on medicinal herbs and stuff like that. And more or less what this is going to do is, after reading this book, it will lower your DC on any kind of medicine checks and nature checks to try and find, and survival checks to try and find any kind of like healing herbs or anything in the wilderness. So Butch,
Uh huh.
you're reading a book about monsters, about beasts.
Yeah, I'm trying to absorb everything I can because this is not Butch's area of study.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check real quick.
Okay.
Again, this is more for how long it's going to take you than anything else.
Well, I got the time. Let's see. Attributes, investigation, plus 0. Oh, look, it's a straight D20 roll.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
It's got a whole chapter on animated platypi.
Nice. Got a 9.
Okay, so with a
Ducka,
9.
ducka.
Thank you. Yes, Lindsay, that's exactly
it.
what I was saying. The noise in the
Fantastic.
background.
Well, it was perfect because I hit send on that as you were saying it. I was like, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
It's also lined up perfectly the way it's playing in the
Yeah.
stuff I'm hearing, and it's freaking me out.
I know.
Tell me all about the monster platypuses.
So, with the 9 investigation check, you have a decision to make. You can stay up and read this book. It will give you a lower DC when doing any kind of checks relating to figuring out information about monsters you may or may not encounter in the wild. However,
amazing.
with a 9, you will have to stay up the majority of the night, so you will suffer one level of exhaustion because you will not get your full long rest.
Didn't we just take a long rest?
You did, but then you traveled all day, and now it's nighttime.
One level of exhaustion gives me a penalty on what?
It's checks, ability checks, at disadvantage, I believe.
And in exchange for the rest of my existence, I have a lower DC on knowing stuff about. Is it beasts?
Yes.
Specifically, only beasts?
Beasts of the Wild is the book that you are reading.
That's worth it.
All right. Fantastic. Going back to Arnon. So, with a 19 investigation check.
I'm sorry, didn't Gwen need to do hers as well?
She got hers.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Missed it.
So. Oh, sorry. I need to give you admin to the fan Discord. Sorry, my bad. Where are you?
I mean, clearly people are super sad that I'm not able to chat with them. So.
All right. You
Okay,
got it.
we'll do it live.
You got it now. You should be good. Sorry about that. So, anyway, with your 19, are you specifically looking for information about your something that could be attributed to your?
Yeah, that's why I picked that book to read.
So, looking through, you see information about deities and the celestials that serve them. It takes you a little while to scroll through these pages, but you do see flip through these pages. You're not scrolling. It's not a fucking computer. You do.
You don't know how I read.
What if it was just one massive scroll and just literally scrolling?
So you come across a picture very.
Every time I do it, I go, hey, oh,
Yeah.
hey, oh.
You come across a picture very similar to something you've seen in your dreams. A large, imposing female form with long black wings, depicted with a golden scythe. It lists this as a death pact angel, known as a bit of an archangel, a warrior solar, or planar, I should say. These tend to be frontline warriors as well as typically have been known to communicate mostly with clerics of certain deities. The most notable being the deity associated with death.
Is that in our world? Is that the Raven Queen?
It is.
Okay.
The goddess of death, and she is most... These death pack angels typically are known to serve her specifically, hence the large raven-like black wings. But you read...
Cool. So I'm an emo bastard that worship the Raven Queen. Is that what you're saying?
Kinda, yeah.
Roguish emo.
That was not intended. That was not
the Raven Queen.
That was not intended.
Okay, can you get the Solar's name though?
And pizza toppings.
Unfortunately,
Very important. Very important.
pizza toppings. Unfortunately, the it just talks about it as more of like as a race. It doesn't mention any specific deities by name or any specific celestials by name.
Alrighty.
So, is there anything else that any of you would like to accomplish this evening before we take our
I
rests?
could change my name to Arnon Dan.
God damn it. As I'm literally wearing a Critical Role shirt. This was not planned. Critical Role
Certainly
did
better
it.
than my current mood John Mayer sweatshirt.
Fantastic. Critical Role did it.
Critical Role did it.
That was not planned. That was a happy accident.
Oh God, are they now like the Simpsons of D&D?
Oh yeah, absolutely they are.
That's the joke Nick and I have been making
Wait,
for quite a while.
Does that mean that we're the South Park of D&D because we're making fun of the Simpsons of D&D?
Yes.
Because I
No, because
accept
we
that's the
because we
case.
keep doing what the Simpsons of D&D have already done.
Oh yeah, no, that makes us the Family Guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought that still made us the South Park though.
Either
I
way.
feel
I
it.
think it's South Park.
Either
My
way.
vote's
To
for
be the South Park.
So, if there's nothing else, you all are able, well, most of you are able to find your rests. Gwen, luckily you're a elf and only require 4 hours because otherwise you'd be taking a level of exhaustion as well. Rhett, was there anything you were looking into this evening, or were you just getting read to by Orpheus?
I'm learning.
I'm
learning. I am learning, and that's great.
Fantastic.
I get it. A plus.
Yay!
That impression was A+. I loved it.
Thanks. It's my kid character from Shadowbox. Her
That's
name's
amazing.
Gertrude.
I love it.
All right. So,
Gertrude's a child? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yes. I love her.
Your next character needs to be a child. Oh my God.
My dad actually loves it when I sing Metallica in that voice. So on Friday when my dad is here, I will sing some Enter Sandman.
I'm so
And perhaps maybe do a TikTok of Enter Sandman.
yes, please.
And all y'all can see that and see my dad dying laughing. So
I'm very excited for the fact that your father's going to be there.
It
He's so
reminds me
stoked,
of Meatwad.
Yeah. So, moving on. Night comes. You all are able to
references the D&D podcast.
Those guys are my friends.
You're all able to get your rest, save for one. Next morning, sun shows up. Sun rises. It's a clear morning.
That is the voice that Arnon will first say the word friends in.
Oh
All right.
no.
So you're all able. The sun rises. It's a clear day. The storm has passed in the night. the day is yours. What would you all like to do?
So we have not checked in with the general, correct?
Not yet, no.
Correct.
I think that. Do we want to start the day off because Butch suggested that for last night. Do we want to start our day doing that before we inevitably get up to some bullshit?
I imagine we should go to breakfast first, kind of touch base on if we discovered anything in our books.
Perhaps.
Have some mimosas. Absolutely.
Morning mimosas, no, of course.
I can't start my day without my Momo,
You know?
Bring it on.
Get the icebreakers going for the general.
Rubbing
Sweet
coffee.
mercy.
Something coffee.
What's funny, audience, is I actually don't drink very much. So this is me fantasizing about having a life where I drink.
Oh,
I don't drink very
same.
much.
I don't drink either.
Glug, glug.
I don't think there's been a single stream where I haven't had wine in my hand. So
To be fair, we've kind of made you need it.
yeah, except for Guinness for St. Patrick's Day.
4th of St. Patty's Day.
Yeah,
4th
that
of
was
St.
good.
Patty's Day. Anyway, morning. Are you meeting for breakfast?
Yes.
Yes.
Momo City,
Yes.
population
Me.
us.
Coffee.
All right. You all walk into the tavern together.
Arnon, you've
Yes?
got to check out this book.
Oh.
But there's no dinosaurs in it. Because Nick said there's no dinosaurs in this world.
That's
I read it cover to cover, and not a single one of them. I don't even know how I know the word dinosaur.
Did you sleep?
No. Was I supposed to? But I know so much now.
Have a hard candy.
Thank you. Yum.
So you're able to find a table.
Does my forbidden knowledge include every monsters that are in the wild, or just the beastie ones?
Beasts.
It's just beasts.
Beasts.
Just
beasts.
beasts.
And
Just
I mean,
beasts.
So that would include Brock Lesnar because he's
What
the
about
He is
like
beast.
Al?
Oh
What about
I was just
monstrosities
I was
that
gonna
are
say
mistaken for
yes. We are playing Honor Among Thieves logic, where there are chapters in there about things like owlbears and such. Anything that is a beast or beast adjacent.
like unicorns with two
the
heads?
roller coasters as well.
Yeah, like Son of Beast.
Did it include the land sharks?
Land sharks. Oh, the bullets. Yes.
Yeah.
Land shark.
I know more about the land sharks. This is terribly
Oh,
exciting.
land shark. I miss land shark. That was good beer.
Oh, I love it. They cruise around underground, eat whatever they can. You're boned. You're
Anyway,
so boned.
that makes me think of street sharks.
Oh no! Stop. We're going down a hole.
Yep. Okay. We're not
Really
going to go
back
down
in.
that
Listen,
one.
we're not trying to
Just
prep
crossed,
for
like,
something
4
to
decades of
get to a
reference.
certain
You're right.
point for Friday.
You're right. There's no
what?
prep.
Full of food.
We're just trying to be somewhat productive here.
Okay. Yeah. Let's actually have some forward momentum.
So you all.
Eggs, meat, starch. What's the starch here? Is it rice? Is it what is it?
We got
Waffles?
we got oatmeal. We got grits.
Bread.
We got bread. We got toast.
Oatmeal is the most perfect food in the world.
All right.
I'd like a half gallon of oatmeal, please.
I'll go ahead and get you guys set up.
And some dark beer.
Fantastic.
Before Elric joins everyone for breakfast,
Momos.
before Momos,
We just made up momos tonight. I hope it doesn't mean something really terrible.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm gonna go looking for Misra.
Easy enough to do. You're able to find her. She's actually go ahead and make me an investigation check to see if you can find her.
Oh my
Wait, was
God,
she not where you sleep? What is going on?
Well, they're not.
I
They haven't
believe that
moved
they
in
finished.
together yet.
But they spent all that time doing research.
You go to, with a 14, you go to her shop. Well, she doesn't have a shop here. Sorry. You go to the spot that she's normally in. She's not there.
What does that mean?
So.
Look around.
Look around a little
It's
bit.
like she's not buried under a pile of books.
No. Not buried under a pile of books. She's seems to be out somewhere.
No, dangerous.
Just her two little legs sticking out from under the pile of books. Like she got housed like the witch of the West.
No, God, don't put that out. Don't put that energy out there.
So are you joining
it's
up with
beautiful.
Are you joining up
Beautiful
with the rest of your team?
Yeah, if she's not where I would think to look for her, then yeah, I will join up with everyone for
Easy enough.
momos.
For momos. So yeah. Everybody, by the time you get there, everybody's sitting around a table. Butch is elbows deep into a vat of oatmeal.
Yep.
That's some deep oatmeal.
And
There's a lot of total here.
the table is yours.
Seems we all did some reading last night. Find anything interesting?
Arnon, does this look familiar to you? I pull out my book and where I bookmarked the symbol. Put it in front of him.
Which one was it?
And indeed, this is the same symbol. It's the one that I couldn't really pronounce or describe very well. It's
The
like
demon one?
the line with the arch and the two, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a symbol for some archdemon of the abyss. I can't remember which one.
Well, according to this text, there's a particularly strong demon in the abyss called Soul Wrath. As you can see here in this crude illustration, it seems like he's wielding some kind of electrically, magically charged sword and a whip covered in flames. He seems to be an astute, I guess, field general.
Doesn't sound very nice.
Yeah. Well, at least I think we know where to find him.
Yeah.
Hey guys, did you know that the venom of the giant centipede can paralyze you and poison you at the same time?
Did you say something about boning a shark?
They live in the Underdark.
Don't put it in your next soup.
And I have discovered evil rhubarb in my herbalism book. The rhubarb that grows in darkness.
You know what? Fucking sure.
I share that. It grows in darkness and only gets harvested by candlelight. It's delightful.
And the narc's taking notes.
Want more gardening tips? Perhaps natural fertilizers from decomposition?
Perhaps an
Elric?
evil rhubarb pie.
Natural dungs.
So,
Go on.
I read in one of my books that my patron might be a death pact angel. It's like a warrior angel in service to the Raven Queen. Sounds pretty cool.
But not evil.
Yeah, just like hard ass.
That's very fitting for you, Arnon. You're pretty hard ass.
Thanks.
I think that's a compliment. Hey, Elric. Is hard ass a compliment?
Butch, how many of those momos have you had?
Oh, we're having momos?
Strongest
I'm enjoying
of
my
momos.
dark
Yeah, that's
beer.
not just OJ, friend.
I'm very tired.
How much sleep did you get?
I didn't get any sleep. Did you know that giant elk visit the material plane?
Oh my god. I am learning that as you are speaking it to me.
They're very good at knocking people over. So when they charge, you need to move to the left or the right or up.
Just generally out of the way.
Yeah.
You ever notice in stories that
No.
the people being chased always run like along with the thing instead of to the side? Or
That's the mistake.
yeah,
Serpentine. Serpentine.
gotta run in a zigzag motion.
Like a gazelle. Doesn't always work.
The giant scorpion can inject you with enough venom to kill 3 people who are not seasoned adventurers.
All at once.
And it makes multiple attacks every, like, I don't know, 6 seconds.
So it's not a spreading poison, it's a...
And they can see without seeing. They have sight beyond sight.
See without seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a property that belongs to a very ominous sword.
Sounds like a property that belonged to a previous edition. Went by a different name.
And was held by a thundercat.
Did you drink some like fourth wall potion when you didn't get any sleep?
No, but I did just eat a fourth wall candy, Arnon.
Did you give him the fourth wall candy, Arnon?
I apparently did.
I thought those were outlawed.
I think Arnon gives a shit.
He's just busting through that fourth wall like Kool-Aid.
Sorry.
I'm going to post a picture in the Discord chat of the image that is in the crude picture in the book of the demon.
Cool.
That's the wrong fucking thing. Why did it? Oh, maybe
The
if
octopus can hold its breath for 30 minutes.
if I can figure out how to Mac.
It needs to breathe like air.
No, if
Have you
it's
thought
out of
about
the water.
just singing Return of the Mac?
Just
And
gonna
see
go
if
back
that
in the
helps.
water debris.
And if you too would like to see the picture, subscribe to our OnlyFans on Patreon.
That's not.
It's not a
Or-
thing.
If you want to learn more about our
Natural
tangents,
OnlyFans. Soon,
Like-
soon to Patreon.
if you want to learn more about our tangents and see some of the gifts we post and educational literature on Forced Rhubarb, join our Patreon or subscribe to our Patreon, and then you can get access to chat too.
That's soulless or soul wrath.
Soul
Wrath.
yeah, Soul Wrath.
Say
Yeah.
Soul Wrath in that kitty voice.
No.
It's so rough.
Oh God,
Yes.
I hate it. I hate
I
it.
love it.
I hate it because I
Wrath.
love it.
Yeah.
Fear me.
Well, maybe if you just embrace it, it'd be fine.
Oh my
It'd just
God, I
be
love
fine.
it. Lindsay, I missed
Why
that.
does he
I
have-
forgot
Silver
about
in
that
your
voice.
All these
Soul Wrath
grown-ups
has a
just hate fun, don't they, kiddo?
They hate so much fun. They're like super dumb.
This brings me so much joy.
So, that is the
Don't say a word.
roughly
Yeah.
the image that you see there.
Thank you, Tails.
that infernal creature is compensating for something.
thing about the Abyss, too, is it's like it's not structured like hell is. It's not quite as easy to find your way around. Does it morph, or is it just unstructured?
That's a fantastic question that you are not completely aware of yet.
I got a PhD in this shit. I should roll with double secret advantage.
That's a bad word.
Double secret advantage.
Yeah.
It's very similar to double secret probation.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. Double secret probation.
So the most you know is that the cosmology, or the I'm sorry, not the cosmology, the structure has shifted over time, but the main structure itself remains fairly consistent. But ideas are shit. My brain is not fucking working today. Intricate details and everything.
You should take a nap.
I should take a nap. All right, stream's over. I'm going to take a nap. No.
Good night, everyone.
The details of it.
Read you a story in
shift.
Infernal.
Gonna bring it in a little.
I say after we do pirates, Lindsay should DM the next campaign one shot in that voice exclusively.
Can
Dude,
it
it gets
be-
old quick.
Oh my God.
It gets old to an audience quite quick.
Not to
I
me.
want it- I
I'll
want
ride
it to be
this
a,
till the
like
end.
a Rugrats situation where you're like the oldest toddler.
I'm the Tommy.
Yeah, and or like the most
Oh God.
has their crap together toddler, and then you're just leading.
Yeah, I'm the Tommy
Um,
Pickles, guys. Watch out.
Arnon, make a history
twins.
check real
Lil.
quick. With
Sweet mercy.
Make a Pickles check.
make a history check with advantage.
Is it a pickle Rick check?
You know, there are all kinds of pickles.
17. That was shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not. Never mind. You're not super familiar.
At least my natural one got canceled out.
That's true.
So I don't
By this
know.
time, your food and beverages have arrived. You have a nice smorgasbord of breakfast meats, eggs, oatmeals, toast, jellies, jams, beers, momos,
So many momos, barrels of momos,
bottomless.
bottomless momos. We're at the Applebee's
Yeah, you are.
of bars right now somehow. Like
Oh no.
we're all gonna get food poisoning.
I knew
Because
I had to
momos
do it.
are an actual food, so I'm sure there's somebody in the audience that's so confused right now that did not hear the mimosa
Yeah.
reference.
the conclusion.
That just
of
thinks we're like
breakfast.
drowning in dumplings.
Actually, I'm not mad at
There
that.
could be worse
I'll
days.
drown in both. I'll have dumplings for breakfast.
I love that you think that there's people in the audience.
Hey,
Will be later.
I'm a thumbs half up type of guy. All
There
right.
you go.
Hey guys,
You
did
mean-
you know
I'm a-
Did you know that the saber-toothed tiger, its sense of smell is so keen, when you hunt it, you have to approach from the wind direction it can't smell you. Is it from downwind?
Upwind.
Yeah.
no,
Downwind.
upwind.
Da- No. I don't know.
Downwind. If you're downwind of something, it will. It will.
Hey, Butch, what's that animal?
Wait.
The saber-toothed
Yeah, that
Stay
one
downwind.
was-
So yeah, it would be downwind because the wind comes
Yep.
across. So you would want to stay past it. So downwind.
saber-toothed tiger.
I hear a chittering.
So
A chitter, a chatter.
as you guys imbibe and indulge in your breakfast, we're going to go ahead and take our break because it is almost 10 o'clock and you guys have momos to drink.
We're gonna go pound a Red Bull and focus up.
That's right. All right. We will be back in about 10 minutes.
Tighten up, ones.
Tighten up.
Make
Tighten up.
decisions.
Make decisions so I know what to prep for next week. All right, we'll be back
No.
in just a few. Blame it all on me. Hi, everybody. We're back. So, thank you for sticking with us. Now, we are back, and you are eating your breakfast, discussing.
Howdy doody.
What are you doing next?
I got an alcoholic beverage in real life just for this.
Yay. Cheers.
Anybody want another Momo?
Son of a. Please, with
Oh my
more
gosh.
of those sound effects.
I love it.
Guys, did you know that the giant fire beetle is valued by miners because the gland that makes it glow will continue glowing for like 3 or 4 days after it dies?
This is going to be Butch's thing from now on, isn't it?
Oh my god, is a fire beetle a real thing?
Giant fire beetles.
Sorry, I meant yes, definitely.
We should report to the general.
Cool, I can tell her my giant wasp facts.
Oh my god.
Are you headed to the general then?
Unless anyone has any other things they would prefer to do first.
I can tell you about hunter sharks. They're pretty big.
We're going to the general.
Did you get like a pet woodpecker?
So,
His name's Liddy.
as you all leave the tavern, head to the citadel in the center of town, you do see the typical guards, 2 on the wall. You walk through the little courtyard, see 2 standing next to the door. Walk inside, up the staircase to the war room, and you open up the door. You see the general standing at the head of the table. You see Amisra sitting to her right. You see Rain kind of kicking back the way the way they usually do, rocking back on the back feet of the chair, 1 foot up on the table, on to the general's left. And you see a couple other soldiers posted on the walls throughout the room. As you all walk in, the General Calliope looks up. Well, I see you all have made it back.
We have. With quite a few books in tow.
Did you find anything interesting? Anything helpful?
Few things.
Momos.
A lot of books.
I hear that. It sounds like you have done a fair share of reading. But did you find anything that is useful for the war effort?
We fought a beholder. That was pretty interesting.
That is not something you hear every day.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations for surviving.
It was like, my studies come to life.
We had a very wild source of help with that fight.
I see.
In either case, we might have acquired some more information for one of the many headings that is become available to us.
Please, by all means, let.
And
what did you
Butch got
find?
some good news about our information source too.
She just kind of like tilts her head
Yes, ma'am.
sideways.
Our information source is not evil, General.
Well, I guess that is a very good thing. I'm not sure how else to respond to that. It's a good thing you're not following something
they're-
evil.
Their interests align with Sanin Moonbow.
Very good. And I am assuming Sehanin's interests align with Kantakarin's.
I would say our interests align with hers.
Potato, potato.
Potato.
Yes? Potato, potato.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Right. You say potato, and I say potato.
And I say
say-
potatoes.
You say tomato, I say tomorrow.
So, what is
Let's
this?
just call this whole thing off.
I gotta go.
Good night, everybody. So, what is it that you found?
Found this incredibly captivating novella.
I can't see the subtitle. Oh, Jesus.
My dad.
General, it reads
I
my
just love how
dad
straight you said,
with the
I
beholder."
found this incredibly captivating.
I love the blase look in the beholder's eye. It's like, I don't.
That's a first gen beholder, isn't it?
Yeah, first gen, 1975.
They're very
Beholder. One of the best. One of the jokes of a bard using cutting words says, "You look like an original edition beholder."
So,
nice.
would you like to
It hurts.
inform me of this information that you have procured?
Arnon.
We found some evidence leading us to believe that the witch's coven we were searching for may be in the Feywild. And we found a transplanar key tuned to the Feywild.
That is convenient, isn't it?
Quite. I think the beholder was just a coincidence, because we also found some reading material on the Twilight Coven, and they disappeared a couple millennia ago, and beholders only live 125, 150 years, so he just conveniently took over their lair.
Well, if this Twilight Coven had a handle in this here, I
Well,
would
we-
assume they would
we-
leave a pretty substantial hideout at least. Probably a good spot for anyone to take over if they were opportunistic enough.
Yeah, and we found an old tapestry of them, which with the cauldron in it, similar to the cauldron from the vision I was shown. So we think that's a pretty good lead.
Very good. So you have a lead on the one of the potential generals, and you had mentioned something about a vampire in the Shadowfell, which just sounds fucking horrible. First off,
Strad van Zarovich.
yes, Strad van Huzabich, I think is something like that.
Commonly known as, yeah.
Yes. Was there any?
And Orpheus found a reference to one of the symbols that I couldn't place, linking it to a archdemon of the abyss known as Soul Wrath.
So we have a general in the Shadowfell, a general in the Abyss, a group of hags in the Feywild.
And probably one back where we just came from in the Hells. Pit Fiend.
The same Pit Fiend that you supposedly killed once already?
We believe so, because if you kill a devil not outside of the realm of hell, they just return to hell.
I am well aware of that, but...
So we think since his body was at least partly here, that he was just returned.
So that is 4, and you said 3 of the symbols disappeared, it separated when she was telling you about?
The tower, and the boat.
So that's 7. How many of these generals are there?
9.
9. So what about the final 2?
Let me check my notes.
If one of those is the hand, we've already dealt with that one.
Well, he said the hand was one of the symbols that disappeared. So
we believe the boat was the spectral pirate ship that we fought on in the water plane, and the tower was the dragon that we killed in Shadowfell. I don't have my notes. So
you had a chalice, a brain, a horned head, that demon symbol, a lamp, and a cauldron.
Oh, yes, there's the brain, which we naturally believe to be the hive brain, the hive mind of the mind flayers we keep running into.
I think, Elric, you mentioned this as what was the terminology? Elder brain?
Yes.
So that
the elder brain is believed to be the central thinking hub of any and all mind flayers on this plane.
So if this... I'm sorry, continue, please.
This is a belief that's theoretical, as no one has seen it in person yet.
So if this elder brain equates to the one symbol, this demon devil thing equates to one of the others. Do you know which symbols equate to which generals?
Well, the cauldron to the coven.
Yes.
The demon symbol to soul wrath we just talked about.
Correct.
The devil face to the pit fiend. Okay, Nick, I've got brain, cauldron, demon, chalice, devil. What's the 6th one?
Like a lamp,
lamp. Yes. There's also the lamp, which might be a reference to some type of djinn. Just a guess. And I'm guessing that the chalice is a reference to the vampire, because the whole drinking blood thing.
I mean, that is a logical assumption. That would make sense to me. So you're saying that this chalice is to this...
Bet they have pinkies out too,
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So you're assuming the chalice goes to this Strahd individual. The brain is this elder brain. This devil head is the pit fiend that you were talking about, correct?
Yeah, we caught a name in that letter.
Yes. You caught a name from the cat, the fucking Raksasa. Yeah, mentioned the name Mosaxis to you.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I thought that was the letter. The consumed letter.
It might have been in there as well, but I remember it being from the Rakshasa. Then the demon symbol for this soul soul wrath person. So there is the cauldron. You said is this hag Twilight Coven. So you're left with this lamp.
Yeah, and just pure symbolism. It might be some type of djinn.
That would make sense. So, what's... You said...
Yes, Butch, I too love lamp.
You said...
what? Yes, no, I love lamp.
Oh my god.
So let me get this straight. You have a pit fiend in the hells. You have a potential hag coven in the Feywild. You destroyed a dragon in the Shadowfell, and you have a vampire potentially in the Shadowfell as well. You had the Hand of Tiamat that was here. You have a demon prince from the Abyss. You have a potential djinn, who knows where that's coming from. You have the Elder Brain in the Underdark. Jesus.
We know it's in the Underdark, or maybe it's on one of their ships or something?
I'm assuming, considering everything that all the things you've talked before.
It's probably at least a clue down there.
Yeah, if we're going to find how to find it, we'll have clues in the Underdark.
So we don't know anything about this lamp person. You're assuming it's a djinn. You don't know. At this point, you have targets, for lack of a better word, on multiple planes around the multiverse here.
There's also the issue of the missing dragon.
There is also the issue of the dragon, too.
The missing dragon may be the downfall of Mesh.
If the story you were telling before you left about the dream you had, it sounds like the missing dragon could be the potential downfall of Rockrialt as well.
Yes.
I mean, my thoughts are we were headed to the Underdark next anyway to search for hints on the dragon, and if we think we're going to be having hints to the brain there, that might be the place to go. We were headed there next anyway before we got, sidetracked.
Might be a good idea. You have a lot of options ahead of you.
At least a few of these generals can wait.
I guess the real question is, do you want to stay here? Do you want to go back to hell? Do you want to go to the Feywild? Do you want to go back to the fucking Shadowfell?
What about your brother, General? Any news there?
I have been in communication with him. I am, over the past couple days, sending back and forth. We are working on a time frame. He is wanting to come home. We are in attempts to get him back here.
Wait, so you're communicating with him in hell?
Yes. Now that I know that he is alive, I attempted ascending to him, which went through, and I can only talk to him once a day, unfortunately, and I can only send 25 words, but I know that he is alive, and I know that he is... We are working together to try and find a way to get him back here.
Can someone deny ascending? Like, press ignore on the call.
There's
kind of thing?
There's not really a hater button for sending. No.
Outside of someone watching you do it and casting counterspell.
Right.
So if I were to somehow use sending to someone, they have to hear it. They are.
Yeah, they
Okay.
don't have to respond, but they will hear it.
Cool.
As long as they're alive.
Just let me know when you're ready.
Ready for what?
Gwen's plans.
What?
Well, we'll talk about later.
So,
I just like any loose papers I have, I just kind of clutch them to my chest.
Yeah, you got it. Got it in one.
I just step away. I just put my hands up. Arnon. It's okay. Not this time. Not this time.
I suppose if these tomes are safe, we could not only leave those books here, unless any one of us plans on continuing to read through these.
I would like to keep them with us. There's no reason not to. It's not like they're weighing us down.
I'm very strong.
She carries the bag. The bag of holding, not the bean bag.
Right.
Elric
How
carries the
secure
bean
are
bag.
those, by the way, those beans?
Just kind of slapping at his side.
If they are,
Oh, I misheard. I thought you were saying the books. I'm so sorry. The beans, fuck that shit. I don't want to carry them.
I'm looking forward to selling.
No,
those
he meant
beans.
the books. I just made a bean bag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do.
The beans are secure.
That's good.
Hashtag the beans are secure. That's this week's hashtag.
it's for the
And they're sad.
like to roll a
OnlyFans.
sleight of hand check.
Oh no.
JK. To steal Arnon's papers.
Hey, we exploded the entire world with the beans.
Yeah.
I ate the beans and then someone threw me. So
Oh no. Oh no.
So, to which Amisra kind of books. You found books. What?
we
Sorry.
did.
Anything important? Anything
The
interesting?
beholder was a reader.
They typically are, from what I've heard. They like their stuffs, their things. And especially anything knowledge or smut. Some of them really like smut, apparently.
Oh no.
He tried to take us out of print.
pull out the
We-
looking for love in all the wrong places beholder novella.
We found and absconded with a number of the books that were in this Beholder's collection.
You see it, Amisra's eyes like kind of light up at this.
I'm going to take the book, the Arcane Chronicles, and he's going to say, this was one of them.
She kind of looks at it and just like,
Kind
oh.
of it's
Yeah,
pretty
I've read this
rudimentary.
one. Yeah, I've read this one a couple times, copies of it. But awesome. This is interesting. What else did you find? Anything else interesting? Anything specific?
I'm going to tear out a page in my book and give her, like, Elric wrote down the list of the books that we found that were of note.
In other words, we don't want to go through the list a seventh time.
No, we don't. We really don't.
And be like, we found this bird cage.
Okay, that's
Oh, I was
that's
gonna
interesting.
And we've obtained ourselves a Robin, and we've named him Williams.
So
A very specific Robin.
Looks through the list and was like, "Oh, these are interesting." There's some in here that seem a little more interesting than others, like this elven songs and poetry. Okay, I don't. I don't know what you would do with that.
There are many secrets that are hidden
Oh,
in
I
the
know what
tales
I'd
of
do
the
with
bards.
that. I'm gonna make you the best concept album ever, General.
I would. She just looks confused. So
What do they make those on in this world? Wax cylinders?
There's one here that looks kind of interesting. Have any of you looked in this book of prophecies yet? Do you mind if I?
There was
read
a
about
book of
plants.
prophecies?
I didn't see that coming.
God damn it.
I
I'm
suppose
so
that
sad
figures-
that my mic doesn't pick up when I'm laughing because it happens a lot.
Gross.
I didn't even hear that one.
I kind of figured that book would be up your alley.
I missed it every time. It's hard. I have a very hard time with long strings of lists. I have to see it.
The book of prophecies, visions,
I
and
read the wrong
portents of the
damn book.
future. Do you mind if I take a look, or were one of you planning on reading this? Sounds
I'm planning on
Interesting.
reading it now.
okay. Well, do you mind after you read it if I could take a look at it?
Not at all.
Just if you wouldn't mind bringing it to me when you're done, I would love to take a look at it.
Just as long as he didn't read it when he's eating, because that could make it pretty gross.
What?
I am then going to look at, like, if there's a map somewhere in this room, I'm going to point out exactly on the map where off the beaten path this Beholder's hideout.
Oh,
out to be.
there were Duragar guarding the place. That's pretty important.
I'm gonna hold up the skull.
Yeah.
Like a whole squadron of Duragar.
Your
was
boiled
there.
skull?
To which
Yeah,
you
freshly
hear
boiled.
It's now
skull?
clean. It's clean and bleached.
you hear Rain go, "Well, it's not that surprising. I mean, I've messed with a couple of these beholders in the past, and they seem to kind of entangle themselves with whatever kind of lower forms they can get to subjugate. So,
Like Jada Smith.
kind of."
Oh no!
Oh.
Really?
You keep her name out of your fucking mouth.
Dude, they're gonna add, like, she's gonna
Hey,
somehow
I
find
matched
this
her
and they're gonna
haircut.
be on like Red Table Talk or whatever the fuck.
My God.
We
But-
do not need to find ourselves in their crosshairs, for the love of God.
Hey, we can use all the promotion we can get.
Hey, bad press is good press.
Perry, I sent you a passage from that book that you will read the next time you sit, whenever you sit down and read it. So she's like, I mean, Duragar, yeah, that's kind of coincidental, maybe that this beholder, but has employed, for lack of a better term, enslaved, whatever you want to call it, these Duragar, but they tend to take dominion over whatever weak-minded creatures they can kind of manipulate and convince to follow them.
Yeah, they seem to be hustling passersby for gold, loot, whatever.
I dropped an elephant on his head.
I'm sorry, what? Did you just say you dropped an elephant on it? Is that some sort of innuendo or metaphor?
Oh no, he
No.
straight up dropped an elephant.
Oh my God!
Can confirm.
Oh, is this that
Wait.
thing you bought from Sigil when I sent you there to get that damn fortress?
Yes, the weekly elephant.
Well, I'm glad
That
you got
was
some use.
apparently less than useless. I think it was pretty useful. Like,
Well, I'm glad you.
That elephant is a real downer, too. Don't.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Begin a
it was like
conversation.
midnight dark. Oh.
So,
Not midnight with a full moon.
Some animals are not the kind you would want to cast Speak with Animals on.
I mean, if
I think it's a
this
construct.
creature is stuck as a fucking statue for 90% of its time, I probably can only imagine the type of shit that it would say.
Well, me too.
I need a lot of counseling after that.
So can we rent a cart?
You want to rent a cart? What?
For what?
So I can sleep while we travel.
Where exactly are you planning on traveling? Did you all decide on where you want to go yet?
I'll just become a horse, and then you can sleep.
On the cart.
I believe, as Arnon said, the next sensible place to return to is the Underdark.
How does that make
It's
Gwen
better than
feel?
Shadowfell.
That's a really
Gwen's in full
Awful
avoidance
sentence.
mode at the moment. She's just not accepting
the
that
next
is where we're
sensible
going.
place to go is the under. That's just a terrible sentence.
General,
Yeah, like
perhaps.
that. I can't even process that phrase.
Yeah.
I feel
Uh,
like
that
that's something that
sentence, if you
elephant
will.
would say.
General, perhaps a better question is, where are we needed the most?
I mean, you all, right now, since you were successful in poisoning the bulk of the Shanian forces, at least their invasion force, it's fairly quiet on the front lines. I'm still not entirely sure how you took out close to 80% of their forces in one fell swoop, but
Raccoon
was a-
and stealth.
It was a
Oh,
slow-acting
yeah.
dysentery type poison.
and a really fucking good roll from you with that percentage roll. I wasn't sure if you
Well,
ever,
all you need
if
is
you
a
finally
good rogue and a
realized what that
raccoon.
77 you rolled was for.
I just did now. I was today years old when I realized
That's
Yeah.
like how effective you
what
were.
that,
That was-
roll that I had forgotten about.
Yeah,
but
that
wondered
was
about.
100% the percentage of people that were going to be affected by that poison.
Awesome.
And you rolled a 77.
Awesome. I'm pretty
So-
sure they're fucked.
So the fortunately for us, it is pretty quiet. We are seeing a moment of respite that we have not seen in decades. So right
And that's
now, I
the
think
the western front, right? So
Yes,
it's
it's all,
north
quiet there?
on the
Jesus.
western
all
front.
quiet,
Not-
all quiet over there on that front.
Masterpiece.
I think it's good that we've like moved away from the depressing weekly elephant. Wait a second. No, we haven't.
So it is.
War.
It is potential that it is. You are all too. I think it is most pressing that you all focus on this prophetic dream of Arnon's and figure out these generals and where to strike next. It seems like this is the most pressing thing for you. So I do not have enough information to tell you which one to go after first. This is kind of your thing. This is I am trusting you in the information that you have gained and the information you will continue to gain. Whether or not you want to act on the ones that you already know about, or if you want to gather more information on the final ones that you are only kind of hinting at, that is your decision. But one way or another, I feel like these final, what was it, six generals need to be dealt with.
Do we have any options that don't involve my dad or the Underdark?
We could go to the Abyss.
I don't believe your father has a tuning fork for the Abyss.
Oh boy.
So, I mean, you could go to the Abyss, you could go to... I mean, Elric does have that amulet. You really don't need your father for most interplanar travel, I guess.
How many days left for the...
Yeah, you use the amulet to get out. When did you leave Hell, Sam?
Please hold. I'll tell you in just a second. The one tab I didn't have open tonight.
In the meantime, General, have you been in contact with your brother?
Yes, you were passed out dealing with your screaming internal things when we had that conversation. Yes,
Sorry. I tend to disassociate.
You're fine. It's the screams in the night. I know, PTSD, it happens to some soldiers. Gwen.
We used the amulet on the 11th. It is the 15th.
So you a couple more days until you... So, yes, I have been in daily communication with my brother. Unfortunately, I can only send to him once a day, and it's limited to 25 words. But like I told your associates here, I am aware that he is alive, which is incredibly gratifying and good news to me. And we are currently trying to figure out a way for him to get back here and out of this.
Have you been able to glean anything about the status of the bleeding heart?
As far as what he has told me, there's still
a bunch of liberals.
A bunch of a bunch of liberal communists. No, sorry.
Yeah, I wonder why we keep getting banned from our social medias somehow.
Oh my god!
But they are still functioning. Their base was compromised, the one that you were working in, but they did have other strongholds around the city, and they were able to regroup at one of those other strongholds. So, as far as what he could tell me, everything is still... They're still in a pretty good position, so...
I'm glad to hear it.
When you said not involving your dad, does that mean you don't want to use him to portal to the Feywild right now?
No, we can. We absolutely can. Like I would. That sounds like a fine alternative.
You just don't want to like hang out with him, you mean, or?
No. It was more of a joke. Because it just seems like I can't. It's fine. That's fine. Yeah, we could. Feywild's fine.
Amisra is like, so your father actually, he told me to tell you all that he had something he had to take care of, some research he needed to do, and he'd be back in a few days. So he actually left yesterday while you were gone. He said he'd be back in about 3 or 4 days.
Say where he was going.
No, he didn't. He said there was something he needed to look into. He asked me details about some sort of temporal temple that supposedly existed sometime in the past. And unfortunately, I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't have any details of it. And
what was his mood like? Was he like excited, Hymir, or sad, Hymir?
Wait. Are we talking?
Picture.
Are we talking about the same person?
Stoked Hymir. He is stoked, not bummed. That's
I don't
the
know.
I
don't know about.
You just don't get the intricacies of his.
I don't know how well he opens up around you, but he always seems the same around me.
If I showed you a picture of happy Hymir and sad Hymir,
I'd look at the eyebrow right
the same
here.
picture.
But
are you looking at the eyebrow?
I mean, I can tell the difference. I'm saying to everybody else.
So the man is a sphinx.
But he asked me for information about this temple. I had never heard of it, so he said he was going to go do a little bit of research, and he would get back to let you know that he would be back in hopefully about 3 or 4 days. Then he walked into a tree, and I don't know where he went.
Just flat into the tree.
I mean, that's what it looked like.
Oh, right, Aiken.
That's what it looked like from my perspective. But then I walked around the tree to see if he was okay, and he was gone. So,
Yeah, it's sad.
Wonderful.
Okay, well then what does that leave us with? The amulet to the abyss or the Underdark?
Well, if we're going to wait on the amulet, we can wait on Hymir.
It's a couple days versus nearly half a week.
All right, out of
Assuming there's nothing wrong.
Oh, I also
Out of
got
character,
the date wrong.
'cause
It's
I'm a
the
noob.
16th today.
Is the Underdark? Which general is that related to?
The Elder Brain, and then also we had clues that information about the dragon was down there, the missing dragon.
But then we also had the Coven, right?
which is
Feywilds.
the Feywild.
Which is the one we
Do we
need
know roughly
Hymir
where that's
for.
at?
Or
it's another
dragon.
realm.
We've got a tuning fork that Hymir could use to take us to the Feywilds.
Okay.
Or that I
Mahogany
could
tuning
I could use it to take us to the Feywild.
You can use it to take us to the Feywild?
Yes.
Since
I
If you
thought it was
can,
something...
if you can use the spell Plane Shift, you can use a tuning fork to guide you there.
I didn't know you had that already. I thought you weren't
We
that
have the
high level
tuning
yet.
fork.
Oh, that's what the amulet does. The
That
amulet
was part of
gives me the spell
what
Plane
he
Shift.
what he just read in that book was that
Okay.
the book he read while you were probably tuned out and not paying any attention. Basically,
that at the
Sorry,
time.
what are we talking about?
Oh my god.
How did I catch that? Well, that's
basically
right. I was
told
thinking about
him that
Ocelot.
he can, if he combines the tuning fork of a plane that he's trying to travel to with the amulet, it will significantly lower the failure rate of the amulet.
But we still have to wait the 7 days.
Correct.
Or 4 more days, 3 more days.
I did have the date wrong. We're on the 16th now, so I think in theory we just have... If we count the day that we used it as one day, then we
but
can... Is it the day
next
after?
the next day is
Okay.
1.
Yeah, the next
Okay,
day is
so
one. So you should have, what, 2 days left?
We can use it on the 19th.
Okay.
So
It's the 16th today.
So,
So our
2 days.
options are the Feywild, the Underdark, or the Abyss.
Or
Or the
hell.
Shadowfell.
We can go
or,
back to hell.
or hell, or the Shadowfell.
Or Shadowfell.
What's in the Shadowfell?
The vampire.
The
lord.
upside down.
Okay.
I mean, that's where I
Some real
wanted to
heavy
go
emotions.
when we decided to go to the Underdark. So I'm all for Shadowfell, but we need a ride there too.
Right. The Shadowfell is much more of an ask than going to the Feywild, thanks to this.
We just need to
the
jump into every
tuning fork.
grave in Canticaria till we find the right one.
What's in their graves?
Oh my god.
That was
the book you
that was a
were
joke.
reading.
Oh my god.
Portals
It
to
was
the
the
Shadowfell
thing.
in graves.
Oh,
that was
right,
the
right.
book you were reading.
How did Butch make a callback to the thing that you read? I don't know how that happened.
Why don't you give us some more animal facts?
Oh my god.
Well,
Oh my god. So the hunter shark is as
He-
fast as a polar bear,
He's just a bottle
but
of
the
snap.
polar bear and the giant hunting, what are they called? Giant wolf spider? They're faster than elves. They're faster than you.
General, I
faster than
think
me
we,
as a horse.
I think we need some time to decide where we're going next.
I think that's a good
General,
idea.
do we-
Outrun the polar bear.
Do we have anybody besides Hymir that's available for the planar shift? Available
I have.
in this army?
There are a couple people that are not the best fighters, but they could at least get you where you're going. I do not believe that they would be much help when it comes to any kind of assistance once you're there. They're more of the
I'm just thinking
transportation.
about a ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could potentially get you where you need to go if you have the proper equipment and if you are ready to go, then yes. But it is...
We just need a lift.
That can be arranged.
Or an Uber.
It seems that the tuning fork is the deciding factor here. Wherever the tuning fork can guide us seems to be where we should probably go next.
Hymir has a tuning fork to the Shadowfell.
Yes.
That he used to get us there the first time. So
Gwen,
Elric currently has the one for
go
the
ahead,
Feywild, correct?
Gwen, go ahead and make me a... Go ahead and make me a wisdom check. Wisdom seems like the proper stat for this one.
So if you're chased by a giant wolf spider, I should probably turtle up and try to catch it by surprise, because you can't outrun it.
never tell me the odds.
And they can climb as fast as they
21?
can run.
21.
So
you are familiar with your father. You are quite familiar with your father's habits and the way that he acts and preps for these mysterious outings that he goes on. You're pretty confident in the fact that he would not have taken the tuning fork with him, and you're pretty confident in his idiosyncrasies that if you chose the realm or to go to the Shadowfell, you could probably find the tuning fork in his quarters.
How close do I know where his quarters are?
You do. You know that he typically stays. There's a small shack out near the temple to Sehanin where you were resurrected that he typically stays in.
Shack is called the Hind.
I think I'm gonna be like, guys, maybe we should talk about this maybe over lunch or something. And I have something I'll be back. And then I want to just bow, whatever. I don't know, awkwardly curtsy. And then I want to go to the shack and see if I can find it before I get anybody's hopes up.
Sure. Easy enough to find the shack. Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Oh, damn it.
Hymir, oddly enough, does not lock his door.
What else do I find?
So
there it is.
Killing it.
Is that your shirt? Killing it?
Yeah, killing it.
So
no, does she find other things that are not best left
we're getting there.
unknown?
We'll be there in a second. So you walk into this shack, and this is a small little, like, humble one-room shack. You walk in, it's log cabin style, cobblestone chimney, fireplace. You open the door, which is, wood slatted door. You see a very Spartan environment, which is typical and what you would expect from your father. You see a small cot-like bed in the corner. To your right, walking in, you see a small kitchenette, like the equivalent of maybe a 4-foot-long counter over a couple drawers and one cabinet. Next to that, you do see a hearth, cobblestone hearth with a pole across it to hang cooking pots on. Past that, on the back wall, you do see a couple bookshelves and a trunk. And then next to that, you see like a wardrobe. Then you hit the bed. You see, on walking in, when you're standing in the doorway, in your right-hand corner next to a window, you do see an armchair sitting there with a small little like side table next to the armchair with a couple books on it. You walk in, you look on the shelves, you look through, you're quickly able to, you know your father's hiding places, you know his routine and his meticulous attention to detail, without an issue, you're able to find that tuning fork. You pocket it. Are you continuing to look, or with that natural 20, or are you just looking?
Absolutely. I'm not going to stop at the tuning fork.
So looking around, you do see quite a few, books, but most of these are very, academic, nothing too interesting, very, very much like a couple herbalism books, a couple nature, codexes of beasts and stuff like that. You see one book that is oddly enough like a self-help book. It's about trying to basically be better with people and dealing with people. You look around, you see that
oh my god, does he have a self-help book for how to be social?
He does. Yes.
Is it how to win friends and influence people?
Pretty much.
That's so sad.
That's my dad.
So you
I
look
think
around.
we need to introduce him to the elephant.
Oh no. Oh no.
Those two would have the best day.
Yes.
Just let them talk to each
Oh
other.
my god, that would be fantastic.
Like getting Sartre and Nietzsche together.
They would have the best day, but you would never be able to tell.
Right. No, it would be the best day for them, but it would be it would be traumatizing for anyone else.
Oh, God.
Say we set him up on a Momo date, and
So
just let him
Do you
work
have
through
an
things.
Looking
actual
through-
mimosa?
Oh yes, I made one.
Perfection.
Hey, I offered you guys some.
So looking through, you find two additional books that catch your eye. One book that is titled Chronomancy, and you find another book that doesn't have a label. There's no title to it. It is a rough-hewn, leather-bound, very worn, dark brown leather book with a cord around it. The binding, the spine of this book looks very, very broken in. The wear and tear on this book looks like it's an extremely old book.
Can I open it gently?
You unwrap the cord around it, you open it up, and you see it's filled with your father's handwriting.
Be careful. Awful things happen to those who meddle with time.
Are there dates at the top of the page and thoughts to
A
himself?
couple pages have dates on them, yes. They're not all dated, but yeah, this appears to be not only a journal, but a running, just amalgamation of his thoughts.
Dear journal, today I tried a walking taco.
God damn it.
What a curious experience.
How long did Amisra say he'd be gone?
What was it, 3 or 4 days?
Okay, comparable to the size of the book I read last night. How long would it take me to read this book?
This is pretty intense. You look at one of the first pages, and it is dated from well before you were born.
This is a dense read.
I just want to borrow it till it gets back.
I mean,
Borrowed time.
you feel like if given enough time, yes, you could make it through this book before he got back.
And with Chronomancy, you'll have plenty.
Is there any so I want to gently, carefully tuck the journal into my bag. Is there anything in the chronomancy book that maybe like a dog-eared page or notes scrawled in a margin I see somewhere that might give me clues to what the fuck he's doing?
You see, with a natural 20, because, god damn it, you rolled a natural 20.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this is theoretical.
Of the universe.
You flip through the pages and everything, and most of this is theoretical. There's nothing that's talks much about practice so much as just in theory. These are the things that it could be possible, you know, with the right manipulation of magic, the right manipulation of science to working together. Potentially these things could happen. However, you do notice something that catches your eye, and it's something that's the only reason it catches your eye is because you just heard Amisra talk about it. It says something about a temporal temple, and how details about potentially, there's no facts behind it, but there's stories, anecdotal evidence of an ancient, like even before the hags, even before that, millennia ago, a sect of arcane mages that toyed around with chronomancy and the ability to travel through the realms of time, building a hidden temple with the only working portal that's ever been thought of, or that's ever been established, I should say.
Does it say where the portal leads? Like
It doesn't. It does not. It says, basically, again, no one has truly found this portal. No one has truly... There's no evidence that this is even a real place or that this ever existed. It's all hearsay and... But
if we found this time-traveling tunnel, could we just, you know, baby Hitler this and call it a day?
Oh my god.
First off, you're not there. Second off, you can't really baby Hitler a devil.
I mean, if you said it was before the hags and everything else.
Yes, but devils are more or less timeless. I mean, come on.
All right. The generals. I'll settle for the generals.
It's not.
It's baby Hitler, all the generals.
One more
Oh my
thing
god.
before I put the chronomancy book down in the journal and then do one last look over. In the journal, if I go to the very end, like the last written stuff, the most newest written stuff, is there anything about the chronomancy that's in there?
You don't notice anything at the end of the book.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna read that more.
One more thing that you notice in that chronomancy book is when talking about that temple, the stories were more about it. I'm trying to think the best way to say this. So it alluded to the fact, not necessarily the ability to travel back in time so much as the ability to contact and potentially bring people from the past.
Yeah. Okay.
Pulling someone out of time.
Right. Okay.
I'm not sure if we should, or I'm not there, but the idea of Hymir wanting to bring someone back to the future is a little. That's
Deploy
scary.
21 gigawatts.
What is
Hey,
it
if he
like?
can bring
roads.
if he can bring Black Widow, that'd be awesome.
It's your kids, Hymir. There's got to be something done about your kids.
Oh God.
Is there anything about in that journal about the PIM particles?
Oh no,
No.
No. That's too bad.
Is
Time
Any
traveling
references
by
to someone
tiny.
named Hank?
A young orphan boy,
So-
Harry Pym, goes to magical school.
Oh God.
Is there anything else in the Chronomancy book that I see of note?
No, not immediately. No.
Enigmatic figure travels in a blue box.
I'm gonna try to put the Chronomancy book exactly as I found it. I'm taking the journal. Anything else in the shack that I noticed? Any cracks in the stoic facade?
You
Like
need a
small
snack.
plush elephant or some shit. Cupcakes. I don't know.
Cupcakes.
Well, you do have that book to eat.
Are there any blank pages?
You
Start snacking.
So, okay. So the natural 20. God damn it. You and your fucking.
Oh
natural
no, you found your father's old photo album with your baby pictures in it!
It's a bunch of baby
So-
teeth.
It's like
You're-
there's like little
found
like
my own
pieces of
baby
mushroom
teeth.
slices like in the scrapbook.
And we're back to baby skulls.
So as you're
Baby
flipping
teeth.
as you're flipping through this journal, a loose paper falls out. It's
Naughty.
folded up, and you pull it out and you unfold it. And what it is, it's a
Phone number.
what?
It's just a phone number.
Yeah, it's a phone number. No, it's a safety deposit box. No.
Got,
It's just
You see-
it's an address and then a key tape.
Yeah, and
got five thumbs up drawn next to it.
yeah.
It's just a local bathroom with a hole in it.
Oh my god.
Gross.
God damn it.
Not
You
that kind of holy temple.
You see an image. It's a sketch of a group of figures.
Is it funny?
Yeah,
No.
it's the parrot sketch.
Oh,
It's a group of figures. You see a crude sketch of your father surrounded by what appears to be a tall lizard man wearing a cowboy hat.
Oh,
I like where this is going.
I
You
do
see
too.
a black furred tabaxi. You see a small, short frog man. And you see what appears to be an iron, almost to your eyes looks like an iron golem. Just this large, imposing figure.
the closest thing this man had to friends.
so what's the over under on me being possessed by? Like, how much of a crossover is possible?
Does it
And
look like
and
he's
out
like-
of frame, wearing like a complete like.
I want you to get possessed by the little frog person.
Yeah, it'll be like, ladies.
You just hear the clink clink of cowboy boots.
Oh my god, I'm gonna buy so many cowboy boots.
I want that on a t-shirt. I want that picture on a t-shirt. Of the foot.
It's like silhouettes, like walking Reservoir Dog style.
No, it's crude. It's actually like you can see facial structures and everything. It's very much a like, lots of hash marks, lots of short pen marks and everything. It's very much a like old school just image of these 5 individuals.
See, guys, we have Easter eggs. We have cross references. Just like and subscribe. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
I'm gonna. Muted? I'm not muted. Okay. I don't have any frame of reference for this except for
You
what I
you
believe
have
to be my dad,
no
right?
idea. The only figure you recognize is your father.
And he's never talked about
No.
adventures, right?
No.
Okay.
He has never talked about
I'm very
this.
curious. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say. I'm gonna gently fold that back up and roughly guess where it may have came from in the journal. Gwen's goal is to steal the journal, borrow the journal, and then put it back without him knowing. Jury's out, I guess, on whether that's successful. Yeah, I think I'll just take the journal. I have the Shadowfell tuning fork.
Mm-hmm.
Did I find the sigil tuning fork as well?
Did he have a sigil tuning fork?
Yes. He picked up a sigil tuning fork in the sigil.
Sorry, I forgot about the fact that he had one. Yes, you would have found that one too.
Okay. I'm going to take him
Left
back.
all those tuning forks behind.
Just in case, you know. So I'm gonna grab those, grab the journal, and then I'm just gonna like knock over a book or something out of spite, or like an empty cup.
You are not the cat.
I'm not the cat, but I'm also not as clean as Hymir, and even though this is a shack, this is still too much.
Fantastic.
Knock something over. Then I'm gonna go to I guess where we had breakfast in hopes that folks meet me for lunch.
Momos.
And while she's doing
momos
that,
can continue all throughout the day. It's a very versatile drink.
And between walking there, scouring the house, finding these things, looking through these books and everything, we'll say it's a good hour and a half that Gwen is gone. So what are the rest of you doing during that hour and a half?
Animal facts.
Animal facts.
Bird facts now.
Oh no.
Bird facts.
Just the facts, man. Just the facts.
Just the facts. Wolf spiders can climb upside down on ceilings. Giant wolf spiders, they'll drop on you from above. They're faster than you are.
Was there a really big wolf spider chapter?
Giant wolf spiders are really interesting.
You just have a lot more wolf spider facts.
If there was any creature I would like to hear less about, it would be spiders and things that are spider adjacent.
That's facts.
Oh, well, you know, with us going into the Underdark, I feel like it's important to be spider aware.
I think it would just be like plat facts, just platypus facts, like constantly.
Plat facts. Plat facts. So,
it's like I know at some point we need to go there, but that's still a home that I'm desperately trying to not get caught in.
Well, giant wolf spiders are faster than giant spiders.
You
might be able to outrun a giant spider.
Are you all meeting back up at the tavern?
It sounds
I feel that I have never left the tavern.
We gotta make a decision.
I feel that I'm drinking to forget all of the things that the elephant told me, because I feel that I hadn't relayed everything to them because I wouldn't want to bring the whole fucking party down. So like I'd just be like, so
That's
I'm
fair.
just silently like just drinking the worry away.
As you all are sitting there for your lunch, you know, served
falls
whatever
asleep.
meats and cheeses and other delicious foods you decide to eat.
All that
We're all
food.
Meats and cheeses are good
Yeah,
for
there's-
anything.
You're sitting there and in comes Gwen.
Gross.
And how does Gwen look at this point?
I mean, as
what is the
also-
expression on Gwen's face?
It's just like consternation, just like this is. There's more to this shit that he hasn't told me, and also just like the light jitteriness to just go hide in a hole and read the book, read the journal.
So pretty much every day, look for Gwen.
Yeah, just
So
slightly off kilter.
Gwen walks in, has a seat with all of you. The table is yours.
Good news, guys. And then I'm gonna pull out the tuning forks, and then I'm just gonna add Elric.
What did
Shadowfell?
do?
Like
Shadowfell?
canastas? Like,
Yeah. Shadowfell and Sigil.
Gwen,
Okay.
Gwen,
Yeah. Yes.
where did you get those?
So, Hymir doesn't usually take everything with him, so we're just gonna borrow these for a moment to get our stuff done. I will give them back to him.
I'm gonna roll sense motive to figure out if she stole them or not.
I may not have been
I mean,
paying attention. Was the Shadowfell fork in there?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
inside, I guess.
the shadow fork, if you will.
Shadow fork. Maybe
So we
we
got
should. Maybe we should go there. You know, take a break from the whole like squid face brain.
That was a delivery.
Stuff,
What an
so-
interesting delivery from Arnon, by the by. Like that was like if there was if someone from Seinfeld was writing Arnon. That's
If you're
What's the deal with this brain?
what's the deal with the spork?
So we have the shadow fork, the fey fork,
And the expensive, like, shopping mall planet fork.
I was like the
Forget
Mall of
about it.
America fork.
Let's go sell the bag of beans in the expensive mall place.
So before we do that,
I would like to keep the beans.
if you were,
Why?
Don't sell off a man's bean bag, okay?
Oh my god.
I don't know
Hashtag
what it is.
elf.
My beanbag, my choice.
Oh my god, I don't.
How about we give each one of us one bean and we can decide if we're going to sell it or not?
Keep your sales
I eat it
tag
to
off my bean
avoid
bag.
this.
Fellowship of the Bean.
Okay, so we could take an exquisite shopping trip, go to the Shadowfell, or go to the Feywild. That's what it
Here's the
sounds
thing.
like a choice.
We have money now, but like, do we really want to just like get money? Are we irresponsible teens where we get money and then it burns a hole in
There's
our pocket,
things
or it
that
burns
I
a hole in our
need.
bean bag and we immediately spend it?
Okay, hold on.
We also need to recharge our elephant. So if we wanted to go on an
Yeah.
exquisite shopping trip,
I would
we got
I would
time.
super love to see if they have any more of those books we got there.
I need to.
That's
do
fair.
that
Good.
before
I agree
Hymir
with you.
gets back.
I would also
Learning is learning, so I agree.
If Butch was actually trying to figure out if I stole them, I went into.
I rolled a
his shack.
7. I think we're good.
I'm not trying to be deceptive at all. So I don't know if that factors into it.
Butch
but I
is
went into
very,
his shack and I took
very
his
tired.
things. I will return them.
No, he's very tired.
Butch trusts his
I-
friend.
He's like, you know what? I don't even care.
I don't trust his friend, and I'm the friend.
I need a sunburst pendant. We need more diamond dust. We need some incense and ivory strips for legend lore. I would like did I get a focus for the mirror? I don't. If I'm going to cast planar binding, I'm going to need a jewel worth at least $1,000. I'd like to summon a celestial every so often to fight for us. That requires a golden reliquary worth 500 gold.
We have money now. I think if we can
Right,
discuss
but
the
we
spending
need
of
shopping opportunity. The kind
Sure.
of money is great, but if you have nowhere to buy anything, it doesn't matter.
Well, if we do use the amulet to go to Sigil with the tuning fork, we have to wait another week to use the amulet.
That's the problem. We really shouldn't.
It might be.
That would be an entire week.
I know
In
it's
a
not,
mall.
It's not worth our time.
And
I
then,
mean, we could get like our ears pierced together.
I mean, there's
You
a
know?
chance.
I mean, like, we could bond.
It was only the doors
I don't
to
think I have
Ponticaria that got removed in Sigil, right? We could theoretically take a door to Shadowfell, right?
True.
Get some shadow
if we can
bucks.
find it.
Shadow bucks.
We'd play Mallrats, those natural ones editions.
Oh my god.
Yes. What's in the bag?
We just have
So-
to like open doors in shadowy places there.
Bum, ba-dum, bum,
Well, I mean,
bum, ba-dum,
it's
bum,
possible we have to do that 200 times before we find the right one.
Yeah. I mean,
Only let the right one in.
I mean, ultimately, the question is, do we want to go immediately parading into an enemy territory and get in another fight?
We do that every day.
yeah, I mean,
So-
yeah.
Kind of our shtick.
Yeah, that's,
All
I will
right.
that's
say
not
I
a
would
problem.
like to get back here.
Never
If
give
we're
up on
leaving,
the fight.
I swear.
And there's
If we're- good.
there's one in the form of 4 potentially generals in the Feywild, and there's potentially 2 concerns, general and a dragon, in the Shadowfell, if our assumptions
Dragon's
are
dead.
correct.
Yeah,
Killed the dragon already.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing that needs to be taken into account. Wherever we travel by way of plane shift, we need to be ready to stay there an entire week.
Yeah.
So I
I
would
mean, I
like,
like oatmeal, but
yeah, I would like to. I have something.
You do you have something, Gwen?
I'm trying to do a little bit of research, and I need to return the research materials in the next day or two.
What research?
Just some research. I'll let you know when I know.
I can show you how to make a mimosa. It's no big deal.
Historically, you know, there have been some issues. There have been some
okay.
some things to overcome.
respect
So
that.
I think that perhaps some open communication.
Anybody concerned that the skull boiling person is saying she needs to do private research?
I have
Well,
a
and
book I
Orpheus,
just
before
wanna
you
read.
joined us, there were other concerning things that had happened.
I would
So much
like
more
to say
concerning.
that I'm aware that I think Gwen knows when Hugh took the brain back. Gwen was made aware of the fuckery, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean I'm not going to act as strangely as I did for that time. I'm not saying I'm not going to act strangely at all, because and then I just hold up the Duragar scar.
It's
Cool.
going to be like great
Um,
value strangely, like diet strangely. Is what
Yeah,
you're
this
gonna
is
be
like
acting like.
like the tolerable, not as bad for your health. Straight.
Dollar Tree
This is like
shenanigans.
what is it like the what is the cola brand that's not Coke? The like diet right or something. Anyways, whatever.
Sam's
Yes.
choice.
Yes. So yeah, no, full transparency. I picked up a book when I was picking up the tuning forks, and I want to read it and put it back before Hymir gets back.
Seems like there's something missing from that full transparency.
I just said it.
What are you reading?
Oh, Hymir. It's I believe notes from Hymir, and he's not himself an open book. So I want to find out in the book
And these notes are pertaining to what exactly?
his life. Like
Can I
it's
do an insight check on if she's just being generally dodgy, or if there's something
I didn't
specific
read it yet, I don't know.
she's avoiding?
Absolutely.
hunter sharks frenzy when they smell blood.
And
Well, like, what about perception? Would I be able to like do the same
that
thing
would
with
be
perception?
insight to check whether or not they're full of shit or not.
Genuinely not trying to be this time.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Shit, dog.
Nicely done, Rhett.
Gwen,
Well, and look at,
Or
I mean,
Elric.
Elric killed it.
a 25 and a 20.
Huh.
So
Beats my
I'm-
7.
Well, here's the thing before you say anything. Are you
Okay.
attempting to hide what you're doing?
after Rhett highlighted the fact there's been some shenanigans in the past, I don't want to do. I don't know what's in it, so I don't want to be like, oh, this is all of his most intimate thoughts and where he's going right now. Like, I don't know that, so I want to read this because my dad's super fucking cagey. So I'm just trying to fill in some blanks. I've also
Cagey
gotten a lot of
is
new
a-
information over the last whatever
A
about
very nice-
my mother, and
Yeah.
then I found evidence that he's adventured potentially before, or at least had friends. Like, who the fuck knew that? So I'm just,
I mean, Gwen,
I'm
I
not hiding
thought,
anything. I just don't know what's in it. So I'd like to
I
get
thought-
it, read it, and then put it back before he finds out.
I thought you got your intensity from your father, but I'm thinking you get it from your mother.
Yeah. Boy, wouldn't I like to know more. Gwen is herself trying to be an open
Right.
book and learn more about her dad. In this moment.
I think I need more coffee in my beer. Or coffee.
Gwen, whatever it is that you are planning on doing, remember to breathe.
Yes, I also will not just. I mean, this was just like I just ran over to my dad, my dad's shack. I just like ran over there real quick. But like, if I'm gonna, I'm not gonna like abandon the party and like leave for days or anything. Like I just want to.
That sounds strangely pulled from a very personal place.
Well, yeah, I want you guys to know that I'm gonna try not to do anything upsettingly surprising.
Right.
For a while.
Huh?
You
I
have
mean-
been.
I just kind of I just hold up some teeth and a skull, and I'm like, I know that some things I do are always surprising.
Surprising isn't the word I'd use.
Constantine.
Huh?
Elric is the smartest elf in the room. You need to remember that.
I'm not sure that helps with my concerns.
Do I feel
With Gwen's
insulted?
actions.
I saw the shady shit always going through you.
Roll for insult? I don't know.
Roll insight to feel like
Roll
was
for
insulting
burn.
me.
Roll
don't
for
think-
sick
Roll
burn.
for sick burn. You need some aloe for that.
I,
or
Do you need a
Oh,
topical
hold
cream
on.
for that sick burn?
We have a druid. She can find aloe.
I am.
Orpheus.
Hello.
What Butch means to say is that I am usually very prepared for just about any and all circumstances. Usually.
Well, I did go to hell with you and end up in the wrong hell. So,
But we did end up out of
that's the fault
hell.
of the amulet. That is the fault of that stupid amulet that we need to just.
Which?
That is not. That is on the amulet.
okay.
Okay, the amulet now has some aids in the form of these forks, so now we should
Damn,
have
it's got
it.
AIDS.
Damn.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yep.
Cancelled.
It's
We're way past that.
Arden, it's okay. This isn't rent. We're good.
We need to. What? I don't. Okay.
Butch is
What?
very tired.
Butch is
Butch
just throwing
is
shade at
very
everyone
tired.
today.
I ate some fourth wall candy and I feel broken like a door.
You,
Just
you
some spicy
Cutting
turtle soup
words.
today.
Butch, you need to go drunk. You're home.
I need to ride in the back of a cart and sleep.
How about another animal fact?
Yeah.
We really didn't. Okay.
Does anybody
Canaries are
need to
very good
cast
flyers.
sleep on Butch? Just one of those eye stalks? Was it the sleepy eye stalk? And then we just slap Butch about with it, see if it sticks.
Look, ultimately, if you think things will be fine without a chaperone, I will not protest any further. You guys know her better than I do. But, having said that, there seems to be a lot of sketchy shit that happens when Gwen's around.
Okay, or
okay,
it's like
Gwen...
some of it wasn't entirely my fault. It was just
I
enhanced, enhanced shenanigans because somebody was
all I can see, by the way, enhanced shenanigans is like someone on like CSI just being like, there's like shenanigans, enhance.
It just yeah.
Zoom in
just,
on Gwen. Enhance those shenanigans.
Orpheus, I know it's probably going to take some time for you to believe that I am not out. I'm not going to go over the edge, but like the external sources of the shenanigans don't have a hold anymore. I'm gonna let you
plant
do
the
what's
bean of
happening
equivocation.
It doesn't happen any Morpheus?
It doesn't work like that. They're random.
I am so tempted to just pour the whole bag out.
Can I have one?
Please.
Please.
See what happens.
Don't dump your bean bag in front of us.
Press F to pay respects, and then
So,
blow all of us up.
assuming we are providing Gwen this
pour it
time
out for your homies to blow us up.
pour over her father's notes, what should we do in the meantime?
Should only take me like a day, right?
So many Elven double entendres.
Depends on how deep you want to get into the notes, but
Depends on what I find.
Yeah, you could sit down for a few hours and scan through and get some, at least a decent idea of what's going on
I
there.
think this is going to inevitably lead to conversations with Hymir, so maybe just today. Just let me pour over it a little bit for the rest of the day, and then I'll put it back before we leave.
I thought we were going.
We're leaving.
Are we going?
You
somewhere?
need to sleep, Butch, because if you go in your current state, I'm going to sleep.
But I'm okay. I just need more coffee.
Nope. I think we should let Butch rest first.
But if we get a cart, you could sit next to me and read your book. Your dad's book.
I can't. I don't want to leave.
Wait, that's your dad's book.
Yes, I don't want to leave the city with the book. I just want to read it and then put it back, and then we
Well,
go.
here's your dad.
Yeah, and then I can write some get my thoughts together while we're on the road. But I'd like
You
to
should
maybe
do
put it
what
back.
Elric does. You should get a book and take notes on the book that you're reading, so that way you don't forget them.
So, did I identify maybe any herbs that I have on hand that would put someone to sleep when I was reading my herbalism book? And like I put the mushroom of
some
sleepiness.
long leaf. Some long leaf, perhaps.
Butch's sleep.
Long leaf.
Long leaf.
Sorry, I just watched the extended editions of Lord of the Rings.
Long bottom leaf.
I think you should rest, Butch, and then we'll.
The extended editions are the only way to
We're
watch it, by the way.
Really?
I'd never done it before.
Yeah, that's the only way to watch them. Erica turned me onto those when we first got together, and I will never watch the theatrical cut again.
Giant eagles are large enough to snatch gnomes.
We are actually
And
have been watching the extended editions of The Hobbit this week. I don't give a
Never
fuck.
seen that.
I like the movies.
Thank you, Zap.
The Hobbit was bad. Martin Freeman is sublime.
I watched the extended edition.
Oh God, I don't want Martin Freeman to be a part of Sublime. That would be horrifying. I don't want to hear him sing
Also,
any
not
of that.
the crossover I intended.
Giant eagles can
I-
understand common. They're very smart birds.
They also
Oh
make
my
really
God.
great cake.
Hey! Does that mean that if I wild shape into a giant eagle, I can understand common?
If you wild shape into a giant eagle, we're going shopping.
Well, I guess I can
Can't
understand.
you
I keep my own.
already
Never mind.
understand?
Never mind.
Anyway,
Forget it. I keep my own.
Focusing in,
I don't.
because
do
we
that.
are at 11:30, so we're going to
I am
call
in
it
character.
for the night soon. What final thoughts are you having? What final things are you doing during this lunch, or for the rest of the day?
Well, we still haven't determined exactly what we're going to do once Gwen's done. So we should probably decide what our next target is so we can prepare appropriately.
So
If we can get somebody to give us a ride somewhere, and then we can use the amulet to come back.
A wagon?
Is there a Vin Diesel anywhere?
Can we get something attuned to this plane, or are we attuned to this plane to make it easier? Like, I don't know. Can you use like my shield, or like your boot, or
So far, you have noticed that it doesn't quite work that way.
Is this like the buried where I can like cut off a pinky and leave it here and then like attune to my
Power,
pinky?
you're a wizard. Can you make one of
What
these?
is it with
tuning
you and
forks?
body parts?
I
Look,
I'm
man,
just
we're all
trying to think
made
of
of
something
parts.
that like couldn't be, like it had to be connected. It's fine.
And in
They're all
terms of what can be done for that, outside of finding a tuning fork specifically attuned to our plane, which we kind of don't need.
Actually, hold on. Taking a step back, you would have found that too, because Hymir used one to get you guys out of the Shadowfell.
Oh my god, he did.
So you would have found that. Yes, you do have a tuning fork.
So we are 4 tuning forks deep right now.
So I apologize. That's on me. I forgot about that fact until right now. So yes.
Knives out, tuning forks in.
did you use your Arnon stabbing fork?
Oh, I wish that was the tuning fork with my material plane.
I'm not stating that I'm okay that you have this, by the way.
Which one?
The Arnon stabbing fork.
I just
But-
pull out all of my stuff.
Oh,
You mean
for the-
my
I think it's the
sharpened
Arnon
fork
fork of
that I've
stabbing.
never
multiplied.
actually. You mean my
Our
sharpened fork I've never
next
actually stabbed you with yet?
target.
I tried to stab me. You stabbed
Yeah.
me with it.
Next target.
I
Come on.
tried.
Hey,
Did-
I don't know what
focus.
Everybody.
Yep.
Our next target
Mm-hmm.
is going to be
Mm-hmm.
There's a
the
nice one in
shadow.
Polaris.
I've
the
heard good
Shadowfell.
things.
We're going to the Shadowfell.
Shadowfell?
Yes.
I'm all for
Via
that.
amulet.
I'm going to use the amulet with the assistance of the Shadowfell tuning fork
And Bardic Inspiration.
and Bardic
Guidance.
Inspiration and Guidance.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as this amulet recharges in a couple days.
Well, no, we can get somebody to take us there, she said.
Oh,
Calliope said we can get a ride there.
that'd be
As
good.
in, like,
Yeah,
we have people who can actually just use that spell.
yeah, we
It's
got
magic.
we
It's
got a
magic.
lift.
And we got
I
these
think they
things.
call it an elevator here.
No, it's Uber.
You've all been to the Shadowfell before.
Damn
My
it.
stand-in
So-
tuning
I was
fork.
typing my joke in our chat and you beat me to it.
So
Rhett,
d-
Rhett,
what should we do to
Right.
prepare?
a giant frog can swallow a halfling whole.
Do we
Awesome fact.
Awful.
do we know of any preparations we should make when coming up against vampires?
Be
Ooh,
less
what do I
juicy.
roll to know that?
It's going to be a little difficult since we're alive.
Were there any
Damn it.
vampires in my infernal
Can we do any
bestiary?
bloodletting
No.
in advance?
Is that Arcana or religion or?
That would be
I think
probably
history.
straight history check.
I think we need
Are you
garlic.
serious? It's history. Okay.
I mean, vampires are neither
Folklore.
religious nor arcana creatures.
Well, wait, hold on.
I get advantage on
Would
that,
I
right?
know
It's not
because
survival?
I would
No, you
know
don't get
lore?
advantage on this.
Vampires?
What?
You don't get advantage on this. It's not Fey Fiend. Oh, undead.
Undead.
Yeah, you would get advantage on
They're a
this.
little undead.
What about me with lore and my
Ooh,
my
26.
my parents knowing shit about things?
Butch got a regular 6.
Oh, no.
Orpheus knows nothing.
Orpheus don't know shit.
I guess
Orpheus
we're-
has the most
wanna know if I get
amazing
advantage or
vampire
not.
facts. They're all wrong.
No, you would. It would just be straight roll for you.
Why not? Lore,
Orpheus is like,
parent
they
lore.
love garlic.
Like honestly, my backstory has given me no advantage this entire year. Like
Heard they
nothing.
suntan a lot.
Yeah, well, they have deep tans because they love sunshine.
Yeah. I mean, basically, you all know. Arnon knows. The rest of you don't know dick. Except for maybe Elric has
I got
heard
a 6.
stories about vampires.
But I've never heard stories from my famous.
I mean,
parents
you've
about any of this
heard.
stuff ever.
Yeah, no. I mean, your famous parents didn't deal with a lot of vampires. You've heard stories, whether or not
They're agents.
Right?
Jesus. Whether or not you okay, so let me rephrase this. You've heard stories, but you don't know how true they are. So you've heard stories about vampires and garlic, and as far as you know, as long as you drape garlic around yourself, you'll be perfectly fine from vampire, and no vampire will ever touch you. Arnon, however, knows that to be complete and utter bullshit, and just something that you hear in songs and stories. You know that there's only specific ways to kill a vampire, and if you do not follow those specific things, the vampire will return. You know that.
Okay. Gwen, make sure you prepared something that does daylight damage.
Oh no.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cleric can do that too.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, you know that they are extremely sensitive to sunlight. You know that they are typically cannot enter a residence unless they are invited in.
So we need to go there and build a house.
And also,
I can do that.
Okay.
they typically have a weakness towards running water. Running water tends to have a damaging effect on them as well.
You're caught in a corner. Piss yourself.
Jesus.
No, Sunny Moonbow.
Oh my god.
Elric, would your
No,
well-read
goddess.
friend happen to know anything about the Shadowfell or vampires that might be useful? Perhaps you can ask her.
He might.
After some light studying.
On that note, everyone, I'll be right back.
Oh my.
So,
After these messages, be right back.
as Elric goes off to find Amisra, what are the rest of you doing?
Reading.
Probably falling asleep in my chair.
I'm gonna say Butch goes back upstairs and goes to have a long rest. No.
No.
I'm gonna ask Red if I can have some of the gold we looted. Like 100
How much
gold.
you want?
100, like 100.
Yeah, of course you can.
Got some shit to buy.
Because everybody needs some pocket money
Yes, please.
from
Could
Mama
hurt.
Warbucks.
I won't say no.
Gotta feed my spice habit.
Yeah,
Do you
Mama
spice?
Warbucks
Pointed
gives
alien.
everybody 100
spice.
gold.
Do you spice? Do you spice?
Oh, really?
Mama Warbucks says everybody gets 100 gold for some pocket money.
And I'm gonna make another. If we're staying another night, I'm gonna make another midnight trip to the orphanage.
Easy
and
enough.
Drop off another anonymous gift.
Just for shits and giggles, roll me 1 stealth check and 1 sleight of hand check.
Do they catch you this time?
That's what we're about to find out.
32 stealth.
Don't see you.
Man.
27 sleight of hand.
Without an issue.
Oh my god.
So OP.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Fucking John Cena the shit out of that.
And I'm just, I'm going to, while I'm there, just kind of make sure that, like, I'm looking to make sure that these funds are not being spent in the wrong place. Like, there's nothing fancy in the offices.
Make me a perception check.
24.
Jesus Christ. So, making your way through this orphanage, you don't notice anything fancy in the offices, nothing too out of place. You do notice the shelves are stocked now, significantly more.
The pantry?
Yes.
Pantry?
Significantly more than they were before.
Like toys or equipment outside.
We're getting
or
there.
Anything?
We're getting there. So you do notice that the pantry shelves are stocked a little bit, significantly more now. You notice walking through that first floor that you're somewhat familiar with now, you do notice books that you didn't see before, bookshelves. You do notice some new toys, nothing super fancy, but wooden figurines, dolls, stuff like
Wood?
that. Wood? They're all marked with the RTA logo.
RTA? Yeah, okay. Nice.
No.
No.
You stop.
You do notice there are a couple things in the office that you notice. I mean, small things. You do notice a couple new like ledgers, a couple new nothing too fancy
Nothing
or over the
wasteful?
top. No.
Okay.
Everything is specifically for a purpose. Everything you see there.
Nobody's got like a gold filigreed ebony ink blotter all of a sudden.
No. No. Everything
Okay.
Everything has purpose, and everything seems to be either for the orphans themselves or things that will be used for the betterment of the orphanage as a whole.
That's good. That's all I wanted to know.
You're able to drop the coin and leave.
Same little package,
Fantastic.
wrapped in the parchment with black wings, or the wings in the black wax seal.
Fantastic. Gwen, as you spend your evening poring over this diary, it's difficult for you to search through because you find yourself continuously getting sucked into stories of your father's past. This diary started long before you were born, long before he met your mother. You see pages of him discussing. It's kind of interesting because the structure for somebody who is very stoic and very we lost Chris. Oh wait, here he comes. All right,
He said
there
his
he's back.
Discord struggling.
Gotcha. All right. So for somebody who is very stoic and very organized and very particular, this diary at first glance seems chaotic until you realize that there is actually an organization to the chaos. it goes from almost like diary or journal entries to random thoughts and almost like philosophical scrollings, and you see things that almost appear to be recipes of some sort of arcane nature. The first journal entry is dated years, decades, possibly even centuries before you were born, discussing council members coming to the village. You get the feeling that your father was very, very young in the century, probably, I mean, less than 100. So, in wood elf years, you know, teenager, more or less. It talks about a potential meeting with somebody from the defense ministry. It talks about training he has gone through and his budding druidic ability. You flip forward a few pages. A few years have gone by, which for a human would seem kind of odd to go years without an entry in a journal such as this, but for an elf, that time is fleeting. It talks about being assigned to a team, his first team. Flip
It's
through.
indication that that's the picture, or
Doesn't
no?
seem to be. This is a different group. This is a small group. Flip through a few pages. It talks about some more military style assignments. No real connection to any of these. You get about a third of the way through the book before it starts discussing a new team that he is less than pleased about being assigned to. He sounds frustrated at the sheer obscenity of these figures that he is being teamed up with. The lack of discipline, the lack of order. He talks about spending a week or two training with these fellows. And one sentence states that he will be lucky if he comes out alive.
I believe he referred to me as a dipshit.
Do I get an indication that this is that group?
At
We
first,
talk about a frog.
you're not quite sure, but you continue a few more pages and you're starting to, the picture starts to come into place. He talks about this grung with a loud mouth who at first he cannot stand. He talks about this
A reptilian miscreant.
yes. He talks about
Debonair lizard.
this Lokatha who out of everyone, the Lokatha seems like he's the most pragmatic and the most actually the one who takes himself seriously enough to actually get the job done. He talks about this Tabaxi who
Real asshole.
she seems to she's good at what she does, but just something about her just rubs him the wrong way. Figured it's probably just because. What'd you say?
Trust your instincts.
Yeah. Probably just because she's a little mouthy and doesn't follow orders very well. And talks about lizard folk somehow, through the grace of God, ended up growing a mustache. Only lizard he's ever seen with a mustache. Sees, he's got, this lizard folk's got a mouth on him, but seems to be talented with anything arcana, so. It continues. You flip through a few more pages, and he talks about a few missions that they're sent out on, and after a few rounds, a few missions, they seem to have gotten some sort of cohesive bond, learned to work together. Continuing through a few more, he talks about this is the first thing he's felt of anything relating to a family his entire life. You realize your father never talked about his youth. You realize your father you don't know anything about your grandparents. You realize you don't know anything about Hymir as a child or anything prior to your birth, more or less. Even the things that you did know ended up not being 100% true, meaning your mother. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Six.
Okay. Your eyes are starting to blur a little bit. It's starting to get late. You're not really focusing that much on the pages anymore. But there's one thing, one final, you kind of flip through to the end. You find on one of the last pages that are filled, there's quite a few blank pages after that, but one of the last pages with text on it, with writing, says, is a account of you, your death, the attempts to bring you back. You notice that in this entry, a sentence pops out to you. In midst of him talking about the team leaving to see if they can rescue your soul in hell, you notice one sentence where he says, if for any reason they are not successful, I will burn the world to the ground to find a way to get her back. If I will burn the world to the ground if I have to find a way to get her back.
Oh, shit. Gwen feels guilty.
What'd you say?
Gwen feels guilty.
And also like, wishes she hadn't. She's torn because she's so curious at this point. How late is it?
With all of this reading and everything, you're probably cresting into mid-evening. Or like 7, 8 o'clock.
I think does this feels like Gwen got a lot out of the book that she's gonna get out of it, given its density in the timeline.
I mean, you also zoned out for a little while. Might be more that some fresh eyes might be able to pick up. It's a lot to process.
Yeah, I think at that sentence she puts it away for the evening and thinks over some tea.
That one? That book?
Yes. So, on that note, we're going to go ahead and call it for the evening. So, we will pick up this plot line again next week, next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But join us on Friday at 6:30 for a special those natural one-shots, which will probably end up being a 2-shot, 3-shot, and maybe even a multi-part thing. Sky Pirates.
We'll see what happens.
Yes, this is...
A special guest, Rob.
No more than
Schwartz
4.
in the audience.
no more than 4.
First live audience member.
just for episodes.
So
Just
we
for
will...
episodes.
Emery will be our guest DM for this thing because I get to play. Yay! I get to be a player, and I don't have to focus on 500 things at once.
And there will be costumes.
There will be costumes, full cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh
gonna
my
be
god,
exciting.
yeah, there's going to be costumes.
Full cosplay.
yeah.
Put the book back. So, join us on Friday, 6:30. Special start time is 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, whatever time that is, your time zone. Whether you're in Austria or California, we're not sure.
Or
Shout
South
out-
America.
Shout out to Austria and
Oh,
shout out
yeah.
to South America. Hell yeah.
Peru.
Peru. I don't know why that sounded French to me. Pelly. Anyway.
Why didn't you say in gay Peru?
Argentina. They're big fans of Baby Hitler.
Oh, no.
No, stop it.
Oh my gosh.
All right. On that note, we will see you on
The
Friday.
opinions expressed by Orpheus are not necessarily the opinions of those natural ones.
That's right. Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you all for
Like and subscribe.
Yes, like and subscribe. All platforms.
Patreon.com/those natural ones.
Exactly. And again, thank you, and we will see you Friday for a special Sky Pirates. Have a fantastic evening.
And hopefully we won't roll any natural ones
God, I hope not.
in the sky.
Fire the cannon!
Sky ones.
Sky
Have a
ones.
fantastic evening, and we will see you all on Friday.
Bye-bye.